So what's going on, Raj? How you doing? Hold on. We are officially about to watch the NFL draft. Tremaine Dyke just got drafted, it looks like, by the Tennessee Titans. We're about to see if Shador Sanders is going to get picked up this round. That's a lot of money, Raj. That's pretty cool. I just subscribed. Appreciate you, man. I am. Give me a sec. I need to go dark on my camera for a second. Gotta add some. Why is. Okay, that screen's off. Hang on. Let me actually go dark on this one.
A nickel and Caleb Bransaw. To me, I look front seven CD. Try and reinforce that and make some sense with the Jags.
Nickel and Caleb Bransaw. To me, I love that you pointed that out about our lads. And you know what our lads are saying right now? You really think you're going to catch us sleeping? You really think you're going to catch us like that? All over the target right there. But this is a Jacksonville team that you feel like, Rich, you're always hitting the reset button and selling hope again. Well, they've got hope with Liam Cohen. And if they get off and play and start sprinting on offense, look out, because it's a division that you can get right in a hurry.
Okay, so it's the fourth Jacksonville Jaguar to be named at this draft. You mentioned a corner taken in the third round and a guard taken in the third round last night, and a wide receiver slash corner that is going to have everybody glued to the television when Jacksonville plays. And obviously that starts on May 14th when we get the schedule released en masse. Let's go back to the stage.
With the 104th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the Jacksonville Jaguars select Bashal Tootin, running back, Virginia Tech.
How about
Speed,
that?
speed, speed for Liam Cohen.
So stylistically, think about Liam Cohen. I talked to the top about Bucky Irving, found in the 4th round. Cohen was there with Bucky Irving.
Yep.
Now he goes to Jacksonville in the 4th round, says, hey, I want to go back into that running back water, get me somebody who can make plays and who is explosive. Now, the testing was legit in the speed matches, ran 4.32. You remember Jerome Harrison, who had a nice little run for a while?
Yep.
He, to me, looked like a faster Jerome Harrison. One-cut runner, home run speed. He runs low to the ground. And he jumped 40.5 inches. There's just a lot of big plays littered throughout his tape.
Looks like the
He's
Giants
one
on
of
the
those
clock now,
As you
guys.
see him running there, you see that brace on the left knee? That kind of prevented him from really stepping out early last season. But as time went on, we started to see more and more of that. And we saw no brace in Indianapolis at the Combine, and he was totally turned loose. Production at North Carolina A&T, production at Virginia Tech. And boy, you're exactly right. Liam Cohen gets his Bucky Irving right there. And Rashad White was there last year. Irving ended up bypassing him. ETN better be ready to go.
So we say hello to the New York Giants, who are now on the clock here. And as you can tell, Giants fans, your favorite Joel Klatt is no longer sitting on this. Abdul Carter and Jackson Dart was the big Thursday night parlay for the Giants, who then came back and added
Darius Alexander, the big DT from Toledo.
Yes, to their defensive line that they added to essentially on Thursday night with Abdul Carter, and then Brian Burns was the big acquisition last year. Kayvon Thibodeau sticking around. Dexter Jackson, one of the best in the business, right there in the middle. What do the Giants do here? We will send things back to the podium for that, as New England is on the clock. And Jacksonville again behind them, and we'll hear the Raiders as we begin to start wondering about Shedeur Sanders' day here on day 3. Remarkable that he is still there, as we're got the 105th pick in. Clearly this won't be Shedeur, since they went ahead and got Jackson Dart. The commissioner's now out in the crowd now, meeting a lot of the faithful who are here for day 3 of the draft.
Rich, I don't know if the Jackets making it to round 5 today. I try and get through.
I think you'll get
I was
through
going to round 5.
I think you're going to make it to one commercial.
Whew. So we send things for this pick. It's being announced where Daniel Jones made his final start as a Giant, country of Germany. So here we go, the Giants with the first internationally made selection of the draft.
Welcome to Berlin, where the Giants have taken over Germany. I'm Brandon London, here with the Berlin Rebels tackle and flag football team, our Big Blue German fan club. And of course, Mr. Salsa himself, Super Bowl champ, Victor Cruz.
Yeah, and I'm out here in Germany doing hip checks. How's everybody's hip? Okay, everybody's hips work. I like it. Okay, and without further ado, with the 105th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the New York Giants select Cam Scatterboo, running back, Arizona State.
There he goes off the board.
Go Big Blue, baby.
Our friend Bob Papa is going to be so happy calling those radio games and be able to drop that Scatterboo in there, DJ.
What a terrific football player the Giants just drafted.
This is going to be fun video, too, when we get a chance to show what Cam Scatterboo can do on the football field, which is just about everything. If you watched college football at all last year, particularly the playoffs, you know this young man and know what he's about. It is about contact. He is thirsty for contact. Given the choice, he's going to seek to run through you and run you over. as opposed to trying to make you miss. It is violent, physical running style. He's low to the ground, and apparently he's indestructible because you see him take some huge hits, deliver huge hits, get right back in the huddle, and do it all over again. It's not just a running. He's a heck of an athlete. They used him in the Wildcat a ton last year. He can catch the ball. The comp is a new one for me, guys, because when I was watching him, I'm like, this guy can do a little bit of everything, but it's all about contact. And to me, he reminded me of a Plinko chip. Look, get a reminder of what a Plinko chip is. Here's what that looks like in Cam Scadaboo's running style.
Oh, yeah, look at you with the Price is Right video.
It's America's favorite game. Those are defenders. That's Scadaboo just bouncing off one another. Bound, end zone.
That is so creative.
That's what Cam Scadaboo looks like on the football field. And this is what Brian Daboll is going to be doing after he scores.
So we got two running backs.
Fantastic, DJ. That is so good because at the end of his runs,
Two running backs right now.
And when you pop the wrong one, it all
The fourth round. Where's San Francisco at in the fourth round?
Ross,
Pick 11 again?
NFL Network, former assistant GM of the Giants. He said the beauty about Scadaboo is you get a car wreck on every play. And usually he's the one walking away from it. So I'm excited for him. Tyrone Tracy, you got a running mate there. Devin Singletary, you got a running mate there. And a bruising one at that.
So does that mean he'll be great in the Showcase Showdown?
I wonder if Shredder gonna get drafted. That's for sure, man. Shador.
Don't go over. Just don't go over.
The 2025 NFL Draft is presented by Verizon. The NFL, powered by Verizon 5G.
Grandpa earned it for my family.
Mom earned it for me.
USAA membership is for those who served and can be shared with their spouses, then kids, and their kids for generations to come. Start your family's legacy. USAA. See if you can become a member today.
What makes iconic? It's moments. It's memories. It's once in a lifetime. It's the excitement. It's the journey. But most importantly, it's the destination. Book your iconic stay at Caesar's Palace.
The 2025 NFL schedule will be released soon. We are ready for the new era here.
It is adrenaline, excitement, the stage electric.
One of many revenge games.
Quarterbacks, they define this rivalry.
They've only gotten better. Unbelievable. It's go time. The whole world wants
a Super Bowl rematch for the ages.
Welcome back.
Imagine the greatest team of all time. One that comes together to understand each other more deeply. Doesn't let a person's past prevent them from having a better future. Protects everyone's right to chase a dream. And opens doors to second chances. Who wouldn't want to be part of a team like that?
None of us make it very far alone. It takes a team. A community that writes off no one and believes in the potential of everyone. Having a team like that changes the game.
Dude, reading
Turn
these
the
comments is
off-season
crazy.
on again with the NFL app. Your home for all things NFL. And subscribe to NFL Plus for more access. For the picks, the plays, all in one place, all year long.
It was a hard football journey. Being a zero-star recruit, it taught me to put my head down and just keep working. Draft night is going to mean the world to me.
Turn the off-season on again with the NFL app. Your home for all things NFL. Get the news, the highlights, and more access with a subscription to NFL Plus. For the picks, the moves, the plays, all in one place, all year long. Welcome home.
So seconds after you made your Price is Right reference, we came so close to having somebody named Goodson. We're just one letter off of that production. It's Craig Woodson, the safety from Cowboys. He was announced as a safety for the Patriots. Daniel Jeremiah.
I love what the Patriots are doing. Got another good player. He's going to be a starter. Craig Woodson. You talk to the folks at Cal, they'll rave about his intelligence, his leadership, his toughness. Then you watch the tape and he makes plays on the football. And then I'm like, okay, well, what's the knock? Well, he can't run. Well, then he goes out and he runs 4.45. Like, well, maybe he's a little bit older. I'm like, guys, we got to stop running out of. I'm going to start running out of excuses. How this guy's not going higher? He's a good football player.
You are very high on what the Patriots are doing. Both of you guys
I
are
love
right
what
now.
the Patriots are doing.
And they're being remade in the image of what Mike Vrabel wants. And it's obvious that he and Elliott Wolf are in lockstep in what they're looking for as players and acquiring them and accumulating them in New England.
Okay, here comes Jacksonville's second pick of the day already, and of course for Jacksonville, it comes from London.
Hello, everyone. Jason Bell here at a fantastic Jaguars event in the city of London. And today has been all about Jaguars, Jag Tag, and the Elite Series Clinic. Everybody has been working so hard, but let's get down to business. With the 107th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the Jacksonville Jaguars select Jack Kaiser, linebacker, Notre Dame.
Got themselves a leader out of Jack Kaiser, who, if you need him to, can go back there and play some safety, get you out of a ball game in that regard. He's physical. He'll play downhill, take on with his shoulder. I thought his instincts in coverage are what showed up more than anything else. And guys, he's played over 1,000 snaps in his career. So someone who is special teams is going to be a big part of what he does, which is the portion of the draft we're in right now. CD, you get somebody who can find a role on special teams and we'll grow from there.
I know they went to the same school, but there's some Drew Tranquil in what we're talking about with Jack Kaiser. You mentioned the safety portion of it. Size, build, Tranquil moved from safety all the way up, playing with the Chargers, now with the Kansas City Chiefs. I think there's the same elements of his game. They both understand what's going on out there. And remember, they played all the way to the national championship. So a lot of people took the time off, didn't go to the Senior Bowl, and understandably so. Jack Kaiser first got out in the field all week long in the Senior Bowl after playing all the way through the season.
When he got there at Notre Dame, talking to those folks, they said, we thought he might end up being president. I said, of the university? They said, no, president.
No, much bigger.
Of the United States.
Yeah, much bigger than that.
So the Jacksonville Jaguars have been in existence since 1995. Our Jack Andre at NFL Network Research just came up with this doozy. And I believe him because it's about the name Jack. This is the first time ever the Jacksonville Jaguars have ever drafted someone with the first name of Jack. They've drafted Miles Jack, last name. First guy who can ever, with his first name, put the Jack in Jacksonville has just been drafted. So that's a first for Jack Kaiser.
Well, maybe
he's a leader in that regard already.
The mascot wanted to keep the Jack to himself, Jackson DeVille. So he didn't want any Jacks. So don't draft him.
But I think that's spelled J-A-X.
I'm just trying to work.
Not to nitpick here.
Well, you know, that's what we do.
Right.
We evaluate everything.
All right, so here's the Raiders, and one of the many spots that we thought on Thursday night, Friday night, where Shedeur Sanders could land.
This is one where asked, in the months in the lead up, I said, look, I have not heard that they were.
They definitely need a quarterback, bro.
Round, but if you're asking
like they have Geno, but is Geno actually going to be that guy?
Fit with Shedeur Sanders getting a chance to go there in that system and learn under what they have there in Geno Smith.
And also Chip Kelly.
They want a wide receiver.
Ian Rappaport thought that it could be a quick day for Shedeur, but not quick in the first half hour of the day so far, as we had the Titans put on the clock at the top of this hour. The
Saints have a shot again, maybe.
The Raiders, the first team to draft 6 players in this draft, comes from international.
Hi everyone, I'm Jimena Sanchez from Mexico City, and with the pick 108 in the 2025 NFL Draft, Las Vegas Raiders select Dante Thornton, wide receiver from Tennessee. Viva los Raiders!
Oh, okay, DJ, I know you're going to take it and run with it.
This is all yours.
But does this not feel like Al Davis weighed into the draft room?
Height, weight, speed.
Height, weight, speed guy. Came from Oregon, went to Tennessee. And watch what you're going to see on tape. A strider who goes out and gets it. He's averaging over 20 yards per catch. Talked with his head coach, Josh Heupel, who told me all he has done has gotten better since he's been at Tennessee. I think another year at Tennessee, they were really looking for something big time if they could have had him there. But that's what you're going to get is a long strider. The guy can go all the way downfield and go get it. And he's got the perfect dimensions to be a Raider.
Let's put the numbers on it. You're talking about someone who's almost 6'5", 205 pounds, who ran 4.3 flat. The quarterback, Geno Smith, he came from Seattle where they had a big, fast receiver by the name of DK Metcalf.
It's not about where you get drafted, it's about what you do after you get there, says Max Crosby, a fourth rounder of his own right, and a personification of what he just posted. I mean, there's fewer people in the NFL, not just professionally, but personally where he came from.
Don't forget our guy.
Spot. That would be Mike Mayock.
Our guy Mayock.
Max Crosby out of Ypsilanti, Michigan, down the road in Washtenaw County from the University of Eastern
Michigan.
Max Crosby's a fucking dog, bro.
Now the Eagles. But you remember, that was one Mike Mayock jumped on the table to get Max Crosby. He identified him early in that process, and boy, has that paid off in a big way. And go Vols.
The Bills just flipped a fifth-round selection later on today to Chicago to move
they
up
just
from
traded the Bears
132 to 109. What do you think the Bills have in mind here?
Are you looking at what the
They're
Buffalo
gonna
Bills
fourth
have
and
done
fifth
so
round?
far in this draft? They've been able to reel in a corner in Hairston, a DT in Sanders, an edge rusher in Landon Jackson. I would imagine you've got to start going on the offensive side of the ball at some point in time. Maybe it's another running back.
Yeah, because, you know, James Cook is at that stage where he wants more money. And they'll want to take a look. Remember, they drafted Ray Davis out of Kentucky last year, who's been a nice compliment for them in the backfield. Doesn't mean they can't go back there again.
So the Bears, as you mentioned, went back end of the defense and then front end of the defense. They've made a couple of trades. They traded up on Friday night to take TJ Sanders as the first Sanders taken in this draft, which again you would never have expected, but this whole slide has been mind-blowing, unprecedented, and now you start looking at people who might want a backup quarterback. The Jets are now on the clock as well.
They might need a backup.
Of the interviews that Shedeur Sanders had that have been held in very low regard, reportedly his one with the Jets is one that stands out. And again, the Jets are on the clock right now, while the team that's won that division, the Jets are in the last 5 years, is about to make a pick with the Grand Poobahs.
The Chicago Bears have traded the 109th pick to the Buffalo Bills.
With the 109th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the Buffalo Bills select Deion Walker, defensive tackle.
Going to DT?
Welcome to the family.
So they go back to the defensive side of the ball and back to Kentucky for the defense.
There's a lot of defense been drafted in here.
First-round pick. They go get his teammate in Deion Walker. Deion was somebody who had a nice year in 23, and you're thinking this guy has a chance to maybe track towards being a top 50 pick. This year did not play quite as well, but he is a massive, massive human being, and their message has been sent. Josh Allen, you got the offense. You got to deal with what you got. We're going to try and upgrade this defense in this draft.
For the second year in a row, and they want to be able to make those plays. Walker, again, slots in at times in a rotation next to Ed Oliver. They're trying to really unlock Ed Oliver for that interior pass rush.
Okay, so the Jets are 2 minutes in and change. The 8th pick of day 3, night 1, filled with tons of hugs on the stage. More memories created today. Don't go anywhere.
Remember last.
Alrighty. They want a D tackle. Okay. Jets pick is in. Eagles are officially on the clock.
In Italy, that was when I started building my passion for football.
Tackle in the first round, or offensive line in the first round for a second straight year, Armand Membu. And then they went legacy. Jason Taylor, who did play for the Jets at the end of his career.
That's right.
Went and got his kid Mason Taylor, and now
with the
latest.
110th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the New York Jets select Arian Smith, wide receiver, Georgia.
Did you say traits?
Yeah, traits. That would fall in line here. One of the fastest players in the draft. He ran 4.36, was actually a disappointment. There was a lot of thought he could challenge the record. You see his track background on there. Big time track athlete. Now, you love the speed, and you'll see it on the video. The problem, CD, has been the consistency catching the football. He had 10 drops last year. So that's something that has to be worked out, but you could look at maybe returning kicks, bubble screens, reverses, as you try and get him a little more consistent catching the football.
And try and create those big plays with your quarterback, Justin Fields, because those types of plays you can get. Here's the athleticism that goes along with it. He and the Jugs machine need to become very good friends, because he can turn some of those big plays into things that can help the Jets open up their offense. And it's a screaming need as well. You're also drafting for need. Garrett Wilson is the receiver. Josh
Come on,
Reynolds,
Green Bay. I thought you had a little more than that. If you're going to boo me, at least boo with your chest. Come on.
This is funny.
Smack talk.
They want a D tackle?
All right. Let's get down to business, huh? With the 111th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the world champions, the Philadelphia Eagles, select Ty Robinson, defensive tackle, Nebraska. Go Birds!
All I can think about is what would happen if somebody from Australia married somebody from Philadelphia. Those kids would be very confused on how to talk as you're growing up.
But they were going to be tough kids, I'll tell you that. He's talking about throwing down Philadelphia and Australia together.
Speaking of tough, Ty Robinson out of Nebraska, rocking that single digit. Start at the end, he tested extremely well. That was almost surprising how well he tested. He's very explosive. He's firm at the point of attack. He's a little bit tight and segmented.
From Nebraska, is it? Oh, that's a hell of a pick. Saints pick is in. San Francisco's on the clock. Let's see who the Niners get, man.
I'm glad you brought up the testing, because when you watch him play, your first thing is, oh, all-out effort, all-out motor, all that. And sometimes
How many picks do we have in this round? Just one?
And that's what you dig into,
Two.
and that's what you find.
Right.
And that makes perfect sense for the Philadelphia Eagles. Would you say yesterday? They're always going to find guys who can rush the passer. They're always going to find ways to replenish, and Ty Robinson helps them do that.
Well, the first indication that last night was going to be as long a night for Shedeur Sanders as Thursday night was came at the 40th overall pick when the Saints chose Tyler Shuck as the third quarterback taken in this draft and first on Friday night. And two more went off the board last night. Jalen Milroe and the Browns took Dylan Gabriel. So that was the second pick for the Saints. Started with Kelvin Banks Jr., tackle out of Texas on Thursday night. And they went on defense two more times. So this next pick is going to tip the balance on one side of the ball to the other. 112th overall. Your thoughts on what New Orleans might do here?
Well, you look at what they're trying to build up. They've got so many veterans on their team. It feels like they want guys to come in, help them win right away. They want this new regime to get up and running. So I'm looking at some guys on my list that are ready to go. Jack Sawyer is one that jumps off my page as an edge rusher. You've got Swinson that's not far away from LSU. There's some guys that can come in and help you right away.
Yeah, and Sawyer, you know, over time, New Orleans has had good luck with Ohio State. You know, remember Malcolm Jenkins went there and all sorts of people, so they have no problem going there for the Big Ten.
Who are the Saints gonna pick?
But you're mentioning trying to win now, but can you win now and still bring in that youth to fortify and be ready to take over as you move on? That's what you're also looking for. That's what Mickey Loomis is trying to do.
I believe this is another pick to be made internationally and take some time to set up, I guess, connections and make sure it's all set. Meanwhile, the San Francisco 49ers are on the clock. Then the Panthers turn in a pick that they acquired from Dallas for the Jonathan Mingo trade. If you remember, the Cowboys went and grabbed that young man out of Carolina in the middle of last year as things began to spiral in Dallas. The Cardinals, Dolphins, Colts, Falcons, Bengals after all of that. We are now in pick 112 and your 20th overall pick on your draft board is still out there.
Did the Mingo take your draft pick?
I like it. Or ate your baby, to use a Seinfeld line. Okay. So that's Daniel Jeremiah's still best available as top 200 players.
No, I didn't forget.
As we're here on a beautiful
What's
day
good, KBS?
in Green Bay, Wisconsin. It's the blue sky, dotted clouds, crisp 50
My
degree
Niners
day.
are
Here's
on the
Saints
clock
pick.
right now. Oh, actually, the pick is in. Who are we picking up? My 49ers are on the clock right now.
Bonjour, I'm Elisa, DeSantis, Global Flag Football Ambassador for the NFL, coming to you live from Paris, France, with the 112th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft.
Yeah, I seen y'all got a wide receiver. What's his name? Let me go look.
Select Danny Stutzman,
Chamari Dyke.
linebacker,
I actually
Oklahoma.
heard a couple things about him from
Interesting
Florida,
their
so
selection. This is
he
my
might be a
third
solid pick.
off-the-ball linebacker in this draft. A little bit of a drop after Schlesinger, but he was the next one up.
There's
So
still a lot of
I like this
offensive and
pick. You
defensive
think about
talent
Coach
right now in the
Staley,
later
Brandon
rounds.
Staley being with the Chargers previously with Drew Tranquill. There's the blueprint for how to use him in this defense. Actually moves around. You see him stand up on the edge as well as play off the ball in the middle of the field. He shoots gaps. He's a highly physical tackler. He's got excellent speed. He can range sideline to sideline. The change of direction, there's a little rigidity there, CD, but this is someone who plays extremely hard and plays fast.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. And it's time now for the player comparison presented by Homes.com. We've done your homework. And I've liked this kid. I've known him since he was young. He was coached really well in high school. Danny Stutzman. Leo Chanel is my comparison for him, just minus 20 pounds. All the things you talked about, DJ. Brad Lord coached him in high school and coached him
Did
well.
not tell me he
Oklahoma
went
was
live.
finishing
That
school for him.
sucks, bro.
We talked about his ability to shoot gaps and go get
I'm really
people.
curious who we're
Look at
gonna go
Chanel
for in San
doing the
Francisco
exact
right
same
now.
thing Stutzman just did.
Please go with the
If you
offensive
put
player,
together
bro.
all their
We should be good on the
combine
defensive
stuff,
side
Rich,
now.
Almost everything else, almost everything overlays.
We need
perfectly,
O-line, bro.
except
Please
for the
pick
20
O-line.
pounds bigger that Chanel is. I think Stutzman's going to be a nice
Even a
player.
running
Remember,
back would
Demario
be wouldn't
Davis
be
is there.
surprising.
D. Warner is there. They can get younger and still get better and also be ready for that day Demario Davis no longer plays for New Orleans.
San Francisco is now about to announce a pick. Every single one of their 4 choices, and they were tied for the most picks coming into this draft with 11, First 4 all on the defensive side of the ball.
Picks in.
I thought you're getting ready to pay Brock Purdy, so you're going to have some young, cheap pieces around him on the offensive side of the ball. I thought the offensive line might be an area they would look. But they've decided we've got needs, a lot of departures.
Why the fuck do we need another D tackle, dog?
So here's the latest San Francisco 49er selection.
Somebody did somebody give the keys to San Francisco to Robert Saleh this year?
Patrick Willis, Hall of Famer, Alfredo Gutierrez, Marcela Restrepo from Rayadas, and the warning to announce the night.
We don't need another D tackle, bro. We drafted one yesterday.
2025 NFL Draft, the San Francisco 49ers select
from Indiana.
CJ West, defensive tackle, Indiana. Viva Mexico!
Vamos Niners!
No, we haven't. We haven't got one offensive player this year, bro. This draft,
this is a lot of wins for Robert Saleh, Rich. I mean, he has come in and back as a defensive coordinator, and he's got just about everything he wants here. This is a strong nose tech / one technique inside. You can't move him. More of a phone booth player. I thought the twitch was in his upper body more so than in his lower body, but against the run, and again, they're getting guys who can play the run on this defense. That's been an emphasis.
Great information there, and as always, for anyone
I do see what they're doing, though. They're right. We're getting guys that can stop the run. And we were horrible about that last year on defense. We could not stop the run at all. No, we have not even got an offensive lineman. At least 1 or 2 old linemen would help right now. Come on, Crash Out if we go with another fucking defensive player.
Magic happening everywhere because of who?
In the 4th round, we are the very last pick. So
that's good boy. We need more like that.
It's time to get the show started, Green Bay. If you need a hero.
I lived in Italy. That was when I started.
Next year, even this year, they might look solid. I mean, I know we got some rookies, but
it was a hard football journey. Being a 0-star recruit really taught me to put my head down and just keep working.
But next year, we're definitely going to be 10 times better. I agree with that right now.
Not only is he the coach, we represent him on the field.
We have like one of the easiest schedules in the league this year. 2 people are saying.
Legendary.
The 2025 NFL schedule will be released soon. We are ready for the new era here.
It is adrenaline, excitement, the stage electric.
One of many revenge games.
Quarterbacks, they define this rivalry.
They've only gotten better. Unbelievable.
It's go time. The whole world wants
a Super Bowl rematch for the ages.
Yeah, I'm kind of excited to watch.
Welcome back.
Watch the
NFL will be released soon.
The stage electric.
Quarterbacks define this rivalry. A Super Bowl rematch for the ages.
The whole world wants. Welcome back.
Imagine the greatest team of all time. One that protects everyone's right to chase a dream and opens doors to second chances. Who wouldn't want to be part of a team like that?
Shador still hasn't been drafted, by the way. No, I was just about to say that. What's up, Squirt?
On again.
Bro, it's fucking crazy. He should have been drafted, dog.
Your home for all things NFL. Get the news,
like,
the highlights.
I'm a big Sanders fan, bro. I'm a big fan of the Sanders family.
For the picks.
If Shiloh, his son that plays cornerback, goes before Shador, I'm gonna fucking lose it.
All year long. Welcome home.
They're making an example out of him in the league. That's what the fucking problem is.
On again with the NFL
Are you work today, bro?
Your home for all things NFL. And subscribe to NFL
I definitely work today, but you know, I'm just fucking. I gotta catch a little bit of the rest of this end of this draft. I got to watch the last 2 days, so I was happy about that.
It was a hard football journey. Being a 0-star recruit, it taught me to.
And San Francisco's going all out on defensive players right now. I'm hoping we go late in the late rounds for offensive line or something. We definitely need it. We're gonna be stacked on defense, or even a late round running back.
What they've been up to. Try Max Crosby on for size.
He's pretty good.
Okay. Who else we might have heard of drafted in the 4th round? Let's see. Dakota Prescott.
He's well paid.
$60 million a year, I've heard.
Nah, I got you. Yeah, I got called off for Sunday. So I'm scheduled on Sunday for line 1. Keith Gill told me not to come in for Sunday, so. But yeah, I'll take you pictures of the schedule. I got you, dog. I gotta work today, so.
For Jacksonville, and yes, Carolina and Jacksonville do play each other.
And then I'm off tomorrow, so got another day off. Fuck it. I'll take it.
Schedule release on May 14th. Your 2 cents, gents.
Yeah, he's battled some injuries. I think if he'd been able to stay healthy and you saw him at his best, I think you'd see him come off the board a little bit earlier. Runs low to the ground. He's got good feel, good vision.
Today should be easy, dude. I knew that was gonna happen, bro, because I dealt with that when I was going home. Was it Thursday? No, my bad. Wednesday. I went good and told Mike and Ryan. I was like, bro, we're about to have a can shortage, because I called Massey up and they're like, dude, we only have one load of 22 pallets of cans and that's it. And that was the breeze barrier. I was like, for real? They're like, yeah. And I let Mike and Ryan know. We're actually running more than what the customer wants, because the customer wants 15,000 cases I was hearing, but we're running like 25,000 or some crazy stuff like that.
And the young man out of Texas
so I can't keep up with us.
Who's a second-round pick who hurt his
Jonathan
knee. Jonathan Brooks, but he got hurt his knee for the second time, so they got to hedge their bets a little bit with the running back situation.
We got so close to the Paris pick being a guy named Etienne.
I want to see who the Cardinals are going with. I've kind of been keeping an eye on their division rivals for sure too, bro.
We're hooked on phonics here. We're hooked on phonics.
Still a Rosetta Stone.
Another international pick.
Yeah. We should be okay though. Hopefully the line being down this weekend should bring in a bunch of cans. We'll see though. So Arizona just won the linebacker. They're like kind of lining up with us for defensive players.
With the 115th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the Arizona Cardinals select
Alani?
Cody Simon, linebacker, Ohio State. Let's go, Cardinals.
Alani's an energy drink, though,
I
dog.
thought it was an international pick of the Cardinals. How wild would it have been if we saw the Vatican instead of that pick at that point in time? But instead, no, it was from Mexico, and it is the latest Buckeye to move on from the national championship team.
Hello, when does the NFL draft have to do with basketball? I don't know what it is about, to be honest. I'm more into football, so... And NFL draft really doesn't have to do anything with basketball.
Blocks. He's got a nice feel. He can sort through the trash inside. He's a physical tackler. I thought, CD, you look at his size, he's not the biggest guy in the world, 229 pounds. I thought he played a little bit bigger than that and almost got lost in the shuffle because they had so many of those talented front seven defenders, a bunch of which have already.
Oh, they have more than one drink. Okay.
Kaiser White, who played so well for them there last year.
That's right. Well,
he's got a chance to make.
I gotta remember, some kids are different nowadays. My parents didn't let me drink energy drinks when I was a kid, bro. So that's why I don't really drink coffee or energy drinks. If you realize, Eric, is because of how my mom was with that. So
with Danny Stutzman, it'll be pretty nice.
So the Texans just moved up, all the way from. They used the 3rd round pick in next year's draft.
I'm looking at you have energy drink, pink slushy, orange kiss, cherry slush. Wild berry.
Today. They flip a 7th from later on today to the Texans.
There's a couple of good ones in here. My brother said orange kiss tastes like orange Fanta. I might actually try one of those today. We'll see.
Just wait for the rest.
I'm curious.
It seems like.
Yeah, I've seen some teams go with that strategy, trying to get picked next year. But it's interesting for me for Houston.
Oh, somebody just traded.
And I'm looking at a couple different options here.
Miami traded.
Really
Miami, Houston. So.
They've only made one
picks in for Houston,
right? That was Ursery on the offensive line. So they brought in a couple receivers in a corner. I thought at some point in time they might look to add another edge rusher to their mix. I mean, their starters are good, but adding another guy. So I'm curious to see where they're going, that they felt compelled to go up here and make this move.
Well, it's interesting you say, what are they coming up for? I don't think this is just a specific player. Obviously, you're going to draft someone. This is a Houston team I think is coming up for the big push, to make the big run. The first year was a joyride with D'Amico Ryans and crew, right? CJ Stroud. Last year, they found out just how difficult it was. Because
5.
now you're getting everyone's best shot. But guess what?
Yeah, I don't let them drink it usually, but they let them try shared can.
I think they feel like they get their legs under them a little bit. Got that maturity that runs through the team.
Steelers, Shador Sanders, only chance. No, I mean, he's got other shots, bro. He can sit up as a backup.
That's why I think Nick Caserio's making these kind of moves, Rich.
What does this say about the draft from the Miami point of view? Where they're like, well, we got 2. We didn't even have a late Friday night pick. We're
That's funny. I just got to add for Alani on YouTube, bro.
We'll just take a 6th and a 3 next year. What does that say?
It tells me that they're secure, that they're going to be around. Chris Greer feels comfortable that, hey, we have understanding of ownership, that we just value what could be coming in the future in next year's draft versus what we're staring at this year at this point in time. So that's got to have stability involved in that decision.
Round 3.
To your point, CD, I think of Houston, and I think of the ability to be aggressive when C.J. Stroud hasn't got that second contract yet. We've seen the Bears do it in free agency as well as be bold in the draft. Now you're seeing Houston. That clock is ticking, and that number ain't going down. That's going to be a huge piece of the pie. You saw the 49ers had to kind of revamp their roster.
I know. Like, dude,
ready to write that
I do think he's tall enough to be a good quarterback in the league. He just needs to develop. But not taking Shador is absurd, bro. He could have went to the Browns, but they took fucking Dylan Gabriel. And that dude's not fucking good. I wouldn't look. And now I know what you're talking about, KBS. I wouldn't watch his fucking highlights last night. Oh my god.
There must be security there. Take it for what it's worth. Those player polls.
Indy could use a fucking backup quarterback. Atlanta does not need one.
Mike McDaniel, the head coach, got an A+. So that tells you something about probably how the organization is viewing head coach, GM in tandem. I don't think they're going anywhere anytime soon.
Well, we just saw the Texans celebrating the pick. It's an internationally made pick from Mexico where somebody just got a phone call saying, hey, yeah, I know you're waiting to the 5th round, but
put the sandwich down. Let's go.
Yeah, get on your
Where
phone.
is this coming from?
From Mexico. The Rams, meanwhile, just traded up 10 spots behind them. So they know who the Texans already acquired and immediately moved up 10 spots.
Oh, you're talking about these ones?
I got a D+ in my first year in Spanish. Vamonos? Is that what this is?
Vamonos?
These ones are hella nasty.
You watched enough Bugs Bunny.
I took it over. Mr. Hernandez was not kind to me.
Yeah? How'd you do on the rerun?
Oh, we got a C.
When you ran it back? Got a C. Solid. So you're eligible to play.
Besides for not to go to Cleveland, though. Yeah, bro. That's a disaster.
The Colts are like, we'll take your.
Honestly, he got lucky. Dylan Gabriel gone there.
So
who else could still pick up a backup quarterback though? The Steelers still need a fucking quarterback though. Carolina kind of needs a quarterback too, because really, who knows how whatchamacallit's gonna do up in Carolina?
Boy, we're getting a lot of information evaluation.
Woody March, running back. Yeah, Seattle chose Milrow. Milrow's going to be a backup for at least for a year. Atlanta does not need a quarterback, so.
Yeah, I mean, they had to get that group together real quick because, again, the Texans' next pick was the 6th round. They were probably just...
And they even said UCS instead of USC, so they were really scrambling on that one. They were trying to get there. They scrambled the letters.
I had to work at one.
Yeah, Woody Marks came over from Texas Tech, got to USC. This dude has caught a lot of footballs throughout his career. How about 261
just like a couple hours? I'm sure in the NFL draft though.
They've added those wide receivers from Iowa State. They're going to push down the field with Nico Collins and company. And guess what?
I'll probably have to go to work before it even ends. Ends at like 3 o'clock.
He catch 83 balls one season for Mike Leach in Mississippi State.
He caught over 260 balls in his career.
Like 83 in 1 year when he's playing for Leach and then made the move.
So they went to Southern Cal for the second straight.
So the Rams want the running back too from Auburn.
The Indianapolis Colts have traded the 117th pick to the Los Angeles Rams. With the
not necessarily true,
pick
KBS.
in the 2025 NFL Draft, the Los Angeles Rams select Jarquez Hunter,
because there are some solid players in this draft. I say after the 4th round, pretty much all these guys are either diamonds in a rough or just gonna get better over time.
Are you just being an Auburn homer here?
Or they just fell in the draft because of injuries and other shit.
No, this is legitimate, and I actually forced me to go back and watch a little bit more and saw a little bit more of what he saw. This is someone with cutback vision. He can step through tackles.
Seems like
he can extend and
the Titans.
He protects it. Only 1 fumble. And when
like
you look
Tennessee.
at the Rams last year, CD, Kyron Williams, a lot of production,
just
but
fucking
only
playing,
1 run
dog.
of 30+ yards.
That's more like the fucking Panthers, to be honest, though.
He had 13 when you include the playoffs. So they've got a good offensive line with the Rams. They'd like to be able to pay that off a little bit more. Yards over expected last year for Kyron Williams, 0. He got what was blocked. They need to get somebody to get a little more juice.
Carolina just had a pick. I just thought about it. Did they? Or am I tripping?
Is the 6th round,
No, they did. Okay.
Selection. So they moved up to 10 spots and now are just going to be chilling out. For
I'm hoping to at least see the. When's the
half,
next pick for the Niners in the 5th?
End of the 6th round, pick 195.
Pick number 9. I'm hoping to see that.
Trade of the draft involved a hunter. We all know Travis. This hunter was the 20th trade of the draft. So this draft that had 0 first-round trades involved.
I'm not gonna get a bowl of cereal, to be honest, dog. I'm using options early, but I'm also fucking hungry too.
With the exception of, say, like DK Metcalf or what have you, we've now seen 20 drafts since the Titans got put on the clock, or at least the Jaguars got put themselves on the clock instead of the Cleveland Browns. So the Atlanta Falcons next pick, and then the Bengals and the Titans are currently on the clock.
Hello from Berlin, Germany, the location of this year's NFL Germany game. My name is Contra K, and I am proud to announce the Falcons' next pick. With 108...
I'm eating a popsicle, I'm chilling. This freaking dude. Like, 9 o'clock. CJ West, I think might be a good pickup though too from I'm gonna kick you out of my room in a minute. You keep asking questions. It's way too early, bro. And you want to keep being mean, taking my Crocs, I'll kick you the fuck out. What is his name? Cam Scudderbo went to the fucking Giants? That's a steal, dog. I was hoping he'd be available for San Francisco. So with
you got a pack of Oreos?
I've been. I was just yesterday.
Welcome back.
NFL schedule will be released soon.
We are ready for the new era here.
Got a commercial break right now. Linebacker from the Bengals. Pick is in for Tennessee right now. But to see who the Titans pick up, KBS. Here in a...
All things NFL. Get the news, the highlights.
We're about to find out who y'all
more
getting.
Access with a subscription to NFL Plus.
Since the pick is in, so
the moves, the plays, all in one place.
You know y'all get Shador.
Welcome home.
What would you do if Cam Ward played like absolute garbage in the league and y'all just picked up Shador though?
Will be released soon.
We are ready for the new era here.
It is adrenaline.
I'm only saying, bro, because that has happened where like first round picks turn into an absolute fucking bust.
They define this rivalry.
They've only gotten better. Unbelievable. Showtime. The whole world wants
A Super Bowl rematch for the ages.
Welcome back.
I mean, look at like, dudes like Zach Wilson and so many others.
Will be released soon.
The stage electric.
Quarterbacks define this
Got that
rivalry.
build, though.
Super Bowl rematch for the ages.
I want to see it before I say anything because you know how many quarterbacks I've seen like Cam Ward and they end up becoming a fucking bust in the league.
None of us make it very far alone. It takes a team, a community that writes off no one. And
y'all just picked up a tight end. That's what it says.
Girls flag football.
Gunnar Helm from Texas.
Happening everywhere because of who? Me. Oh, that's a good pull. That's a good pull. We need more like that. Oh.
They just needed to learn to let him develop and don't push him too quick, man. Let Cam Ward just do his thing.
Well, we've reached here's the last 10 picks of the draft portion of our broadcast.
I still, for some reason, don't think Cam Ward's going to start like right away in the season because he's a rookie. They're going to do some stupid shit and let Will Levis start. They did that a couple years in San Francisco, and I was like, bro, he was shitty last year.
Gunnar Helm, the tight end out of Texas, is now the latest.
They're gonna do some stupid shit. Just watch. For like 3 or 4 games, they're gonna let Will Levis or somebody fucking start.
Yeah, this is a speed linebacker out of Clemson. You see the athleticism here. Was able to just hurdle.
Then they're gonna realize Will Levis is trash. And then Cam Ward.
You'll actually see him get a little bit of work on the edge as well. The stuff
if
he
Will
does
Levis
by
on the team, I think he is.
Speed. That I mentioned speed. That's his game.
Because the thing is, Cam Ward's not gonna start right away.
When you ask
most rookies don't. He's probably gonna have to, unless he outwins and battles Will Levis and Cam.
And now here's the guy who puts TE in Texas, Gunnar Helm.
Gunnar Helm's got some.
I'm excited for next year's NFL draft. I want to see where Archie Manning's gonna go.
Time was not great. He was not healthy there. He ran in the 4.8s. He's faster than that. And to me, I like the value here. Watch him with some of the plays he made against Georgia. This is a great pick here at this point in time.
I thought he got better last year.
Here comes the pick for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Tampa Bay, who they picking?
Internationally made selection. Then the Panthers pick.
They chose the edge, David Walker.
As we speak.
And pick is in now for Carolina, and the Steelers on the clock.
Embassy in Germany. It's time to welcome the newest member of the crew.
With the 121st pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers select David Walker, linebacker, Central.
Why got people from other countries speaking for this? I'm just curious.
CD, I know this is a favorite of yours. I'm going to let you take this one away.
Yeah, you knew I fell in love with this kid on tape, then again at the Senior Bowl. Doesn't have the measurables you're looking for as a true edge rusher. And you notice DJ's now it's a linebacker. So it'll be interesting to see what Todd Bowles wants to do with him. But as you and
something
so
that
many
is
other great
kind of brought up and I was thinking about
along the way, pass rush ability translates no matter what level
I do
you play.
realize that
Southern Arkansas to Central Arkansas,
he sat out in the NFL draft, right? Or the NFL Combine. He didn't do any like practicing, right? He didn't throw the ball or anything, right?
No kidding.
Stuttgart, Arkansas.
Oh.
And this young man, over 30 sacks in his collegiate career. He knows how to go get the quarterback, and it's interesting because with those dimensions, DJ, they had a pass rusher there who was pretty good for him at one point named Shaq Barrett. Seems very similar dimensions to David Walker.
Golly, Rich, the hook got into you on that one.
It's like, wait a minute, hold on. Okay, I got it. Central Arkansas as well.
There you go.
I love all of this. Carolina's pick when we come back.
Who'd they
Packers
pick?
are on the clock
Central
now.
Arkansas. Oh, okay. The only 130 on pre-order.
It's time to get the show started, Green Bay. If you need a hero.
I lived in Italy. That was when I started building my passion for football.
There's a hard football journey.
Picks in for the Panthers. They chose a safety. Lathan Ransom from Ohio State.
We represent him on the field.
Another Ohio Buckeye.
Draft night will be legendary.
I am somebody.
The only 130 on pre-order. I should go look at some of the San Francisco jerseys, but I more want to get a recent player. Like I have Brock Purdy, right? I have my old Debo Samuel jersey. By the way, it's the OG number 19 Debo Samuel jersey.
A community that writes off no one and believes in the potential of everyone.
Then I have my my Nick
Protect
Bosa
spaces
jersey
where children don't
and
just
my
get
George
by,
Kittle jersey. I
but
have
thrive.
pretty much 3 current players right now.
And chooses to not just listen to one another, but learn from one another. Having a team like
What
that.
player should I get next?
changes
Christian
the game.
McCaffrey, Fred Warner.
Turn the off-season on again with the NFL app, your home for all things NFL. Get the news, the highlights, and
It'll go
more
to like
access with a
175.
subscription to NFL Plus for the picks, the moves, the plays.
The highest the jerseys ever goes like
All in one
175.
place, all year long.
And you can always wait till Black
Welcome home.
Friday and get a fucking deal on the Will Levis jersey. Or not Will Levis, sorry, Cam Ward.
2025 NFL schedule will be released soon.
The stage electric.
Quarterbacks define this rivalry. A Super Bowl rematch.
I get a
for the
throwback
ages.
because like all my Niner jerseys look like this, dog. There's like this, the alternative colors. This is my favorite too, man. I love the jerseys that they wear like this in
away
San
game was
Francisco.
traveling to Germany, France. That was when I started building my
I
passion
need to get a
for
white
football.
jersey though, like an away jersey. I don't
Draft
have
night
any
is gonna be
49ers away
everything.
jerseys.
None of us make it very far alone. It takes a team. A community that writes off no one and believes in the potential of
I'm about
everyone.
to go,
Having
go
a
to
team
the
like
NFL
that
shop.
changes the game.
Nah, I would do the Oilers shit, bro. NFL shop, let's see.
All right, lots of picks are in. One was announced while we were gone. We have
Steelers picks
a
in.
newest member of the Ohio State to go off the board. Daniel?
Yeah, Lathan Ransom, another talented member of this defense.
Ricky
here as the
Parcells
safety.
in.
They'll use him in that robber role. We've talked
Michael
about that a little
Williams.
bit earlier. You see his ability to fill. He is a quick trigger. He sees it. He's aggressive. He picks his line.
I don't know.
and
Who
he
do I
will
want?
hit the
Christian.
gas.
I think I
Big
want
time,
Christian
big time
McCaffrey,
collisions. You see him here
Fred
in the alley
Warner.
as well. He gets there quick and makes big time tackles, and he's got some
Dude, they're
ball
really
skills.
trying to sell the
He can go
Debo
get it.
Samuel jersey for like $40. The number one.
23rd pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the Pittsburgh Steelers select Jack Sawyer, linebacker, Ohio State.
The 10th Buckeye from the national championship team has gone off the board. And Jack Sawyer is going to Pittsburgh.
Look at his comparison there at the
Bravo.
bottom of the screen.
Who was, by the way, drafted by Pittsburgh. back in the day.
100%. And Pittsburgh.
We still got
knows
Ryan
what they
Tannehill
like and
jerseys?
what
That's
fits
crazy.
Not only for their team, their organization.
Well,
but
Derrick
inside
Henry's
their
always
division.
gonna sell.
This is a bully
Debo
division,
Samuel
CD. We talk
jersey
about it
number
all the
one.
time,
I
and
won't
that's
buy
his
number
game.
one
It's
just because
physical.
I feel
He'll
like his number
ragdoll
one
tight
jersey
ends
when he
at the
changed
point
his
of attack.
number really
As a
started
rusher,
to
it's a
decline
lot
for
of
him.
power. He's going to get to your chest as soon as
That's
he
why I
can.
wear number.
He's
I have
gonna try and
a
run
number
right through you.
19.
The hands, you saw it. This was the walk-off here. This was a game winner against Texas. Gets the sack, gets the scoop and score as well. He just looks like a Pittsburgh Steeler, man. They have a type.
It's absolutely perfect. The outside linebackers are the engine that drives their defense, and they are always fortifying it. Alex Highsmith on
Or I
one
could
side,
get a
TJ
Juan
Watt
Jennings
on the other.
fucking,
Nick Herbig has come in and played well
jersey,
for them.
$130
They were looking for
right
more
now.
people. Jack Sawyer fits perfectly for what they're going to do. You mentioned bully, just going to beat you up off the edge.
Now, Jack
Demondor Lenore. We could get. I could get a Lenore's jersey.
And he has been
Who else
the
we
leader
got? We got a
of
couple
this,
fucking studs
this
right now.
program for quite some
We're
time.
on
If
the
you
Niner,
remember when
bro.
Michigan planted the flag, Sawyer was the one who took major offense to it and was standing in the way of all of that. But I mean, does that mean Shedeur Sanders was never on the top 120 players on their draft board in Pittsburgh after all?
It means that Aaron Rodgers is what I'm looking at and wondering if he's on the way. And every pick's going to be about this window that they might
So
have with
Aaron might be going to the
But they
fucking
could have added
Steelers.
both, and that wouldn't have been an issue.
Right.
So it just tells me Aaron Rodgers was the guy that they were targeting, and as you were noting, did they have him that high ranked on their deal?
Then with the
always gonna
edge,
take care
too,
of that
Green
defense.
Bay's picking
When
who,
Jack
though?
Sawyer's staring you in the face,
I mean,
I'm not surprised they'd make that move.
who's their rival in that division?
It's going to be Baltimore,
And they
who
ran
has
the
taken
ball
their
down
measures.
their throats last year.
Remember, Pittsburgh at one point had beaten Baltimore 8 of 9 times. The last 2 times, though, Baltimore has routed Pittsburgh.
And they did it in a physical fashion, an embarrassing fashion
Ran
for
them
what
off
the
the
Steelers
field.
are used to. So you go out and get Derek Harmon, you go out and get Jack Sawyer.
The commissioner's coming out to make this next selection to announce the Green Bay Packers.
How many picks are we out right now?
Pick.
We're almost at the end of this.
And
of the
as always,
the fourth
it's
round.
been a party here.
We have
400,000 fans over the last 2 nights combined. And every time the Packers are on the clock, this is what happens.
The 15 picks left. It's funny every time people go and boo the commissioner.
Okay, everyone.
I'm definitely for it.
This is a special pick, not just because it's the Packers. This young man is here today, so we want to introduce him. So give him a good round of applause. With the 124th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the Green Bay Packers select Barron Sorrell, defensive end, Texas.
They went with the DN.
And here's why the commissioner came out to announce it, because Barron Sorrell has been in the green room this entire time. And here he is.
Wow. Good for him sticking around.
Pretty cool. Now, I don't think he had any expectation of night 1, but I think there was the thought that yesterday was going to possibly be his day. But I love the fact that he stuck it out. Here he is getting his moment. Reminds me of when Geno Smith
Our
stuck
next
it
picks
out.
are in
Remember
round
that?
2.
Came back the
Round
next
5,
day and got his moment. Kevin King
Yo,
did
this
that
kid's sticking
years
around
ago.
though
This
is
is pretty
crazy.
cool for this young
Barron
man.
Sorrell.
Geno was just the second round. It wasn't.
Hey,
a
bro,
long
shout out to
way.
him, bro.
But
And
everyone
hopefully
thought
he
was a
does
locked
good in
first-rounder
Green Bay.
And came back the second day with
Welcome to the
not
league,
the
young
suit,
man.
but the sweater and tie combo that they had to go pick up for him.
And here's a rarity. 2 times the local draft home team gets to celebrate a draft choice in person. And that's a bear hug of somebody that's been waiting a long time.
Bro, he's crying, dude. You can tell.
And both times, it's a Texas Longhorn.
I respect that, man. A lot of these dudes wait forever to get in the league.
At the professional level.
You know, I used to be the same way a long time ago, KBS, till like, I really never told my story, right? I had to, you know, quit. Like, I was in college, right? I dropped out for like a year. My dad lost his job, right? So I had to start working, and I just never went back to school after that or college, because I took a year off just to try to train and do what actually, no, I didn't even train, bro. I'll be honest. I didn't do nothing. Took a year off just to have time to myself, and I don't know if that was the worst decision I made or the best.
Tell you what, Texas had a pretty darn good defensive front.
I pretty much quit because I wanted to go. That was my dream one day, to go pro, play NFL ball. I didn't care if I got drafted just to play NFL ball. Just something to brag about.
Recruiting and developing these young guys. And Sorrell, as you can see right there, man, he's going to be one of the first guys off the bus. I mean, he's just a real thick, square, strongly built guy who stuns blockers.
But, you know, life happens, man.
That just jolt that he possesses as a pass rusher. I thought he was at his best when he was on games where you'll see him loop and stun around and is able to get some penetration that way. But there's games where he jumps off the tape. There's other games where he can disappear at times. But this is someone who's got it all in his body, CD. I mean, you can see it. He's really well built, and he can run.
You can tell this guy's that type of player where he can be well developed. Though, like, he disappears in some games, but yeah, think about it. Then he comes back up.
Much more often than other people, and never turned down an opportunity.
Chargers picks in. Browns are on the clock. Once Browns go with another quarterback, get Shador and Dylan Gabriel.
Here. As the Green Bay
honestly,
Packers
bro, like
the
4th round picks are guys that are almost able to start, but they need development. 5th round is guys that need develop. 6th and 7th round are just guys that really need a lot of time in the league and just patience.
Here in Green Bay, Wisconsin, and now the skies are figuratively blue for this young man.
2025 NFL Draft is presented by Verizon. The NFL,
I don't know,
powered
did
by
my auntie and
Verizon
everyone just
5G.
leave?
The 2025 NFL schedule will be released soon. We are ready for the new era here.
It is adrenaline, excitement, the stage electric.
One of many revenge games.
Quarterbacks, they define this rivalry.
They've only gotten better. Unbelievable.
It's go time. The whole world wants
A Super Bowl rematch for the ages.
Welcome back.
Imagine.
I'm gonna go see if they left, bro. I'll be right back, chat. I'm gonna get some cereal.
One that comes
dog.
together
I'm
to understand each other more deeply.
I'm hungry.
Doesn't let a person's past prevent them from having a better future. Protects everyone's right to chase a dream and opens doors to second chances. Who wouldn't want to be part of a team like that?
Turn the off-season on again with the NFL app, your home for all things NFL. And subscribe to NFL Plus for more access for the picks, the plays, all in one place, all year long.
I am somebody.
I may be young. But I am. Somebody.
I may be small,
But I am.
I must be respected.
Protected. Never rejected. But I am.
Somebody.
Imagine the greatest team of all time. One that protects everyone's right to chase a dream and opens doors to second chances. Who wouldn't want to be part of a team like that?
The 2025 NFL schedule will be released soon.
The stage electric.
Quarterbacks define this rivalry.
A Super Bowl rematch for the ages.
The whole world wants
Welcome back.
It's time to get the show started, Green Bay.
If you need a hero,
I lived in Italy. That was when I started building my passion for football.
It was a hard football journey. Being a zero-star recruit really taught me to put my head down and just keep working.
Playing for Dad, not only is he the coach, we represent him on the field. Draft night will be legendary.
Today's aerial cam coverage is presented by Goodyear. And again, this is a first, right? Because we've never had a prospect introduced to his new fans in his new hometown, because they're hosting the draft on a Saturday before.
Oh, nothing.
On a bright, sunshiny day where they could pop him on a stage in the middle of 6 figures of fans surrounding him and chanting, "Go Pack, go."
And
Some incredible moments here.
And he could actually walk across the parking lot, just go to someone's house and hang out. I mean, you're right here. Someone could just host it right in the yard.
And we say hello to the minister of culture of the Texas football program, Matthew McConaughey. Only thing better for him would have gone to the Washington Commanders, which is his team professionally. They're picking in just a couple.
Yeah,
picks,
I was
so
gonna
say hello to you, Matthew.
We got a shit ton of picks too,
these
bro.
are the last 10 picks that have been announced. Yeah,
So I'm a little weird. I like my cereal to sit for a bit.
For announcements, so the newest Packer can have that moment.
With the 125th
Wow, that's just
pick
a
in the
little too hard.
2025 NFL Draft, the Los Angeles Chargers select Kyle
Shador Sanders.
Kennard, defensive end, South Carolina.
That's definitely him.
Yeah, South Carolina saw him at Georgia Tech. When he entered into the portal, they knew it was just a 1-for-1. You're only going to get 1 year from this guy, but they thought there was some real upside with him.
NFL draft I love, but I ain't gonna lie, I also love preseason. I love to watch the preseason. I don't know why.
Production. CD's got long
I can't wait for that. I missed the 4 games, like hella games there was in preseason though.
Into your chest. Does a nice job of finishing as a rusher. He loves that.
There we go. That's a little more softer.
Chargers get one of those long-armed edge rushers, put him next to Tuli Pelotu and company.
The
Hold on, the Browns in Indianapolis just trade.
125th pick in the draft. So One would just assume by that sounds like a value pick. So here comes the Cleveland Browns. This was the 4th round pick they traded down in the Travis Hunter trade with Jacksonville.
Greetings from the British Bulldogs Browns backers in the UK. We cannot wait to welcome Browns fans from all over the world to London this season when the Browns play in Tottenham Stadium. But first, with the 126th pick in
Lady,
the
you're gonna be
2025
disappointed. It's the
NFL
Browns.
Draft, the Cleveland Browns select Dylan Sampson, running back, Tennessee.
So that's 2 straight Dylans. They spell it differently. Gabriel late last night. Now Sampson, the running back out of Tennessee. Charles.
This is a nice pick for them because we've been talking about Cleveland, Kevin Stefanski wanting to run the football. And he took on quite a load last year because you guys remember at the time Josh Heupel hit Tennessee, wide open, explosive, wide splits, big plays downfield in the passing game. But in the last 2 seasons, they've had to transfer to
They want a
much more of
running back?
running team, much more ball control, take care of things, defense playing well for them. And Dylan Sampson picked up the mantle and carried it with him. Got hurt late in the Vanderbilt game to clinch the spot in the playoffs. And didn't play much against Ohio State, but he knows how to find the end zone.
Judkins and Sampson, that's a nice duo.
And that's perfect for Kevin Stefanski and what he wants to do.
Here's the Colts. They traded down 10 spots into this pick moments ago.
With the 127th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the Indianapolis Colts select
But these picks are flying now.
Travis, tackle, Iowa State.
So they got the big tight end and Tyler Warren early. Now they come back and they end up getting a big tackle here in Jalen Travis. When you look at someone with his size, that's the first thing that jumps out at you when you see him on the tape. He is absolutely enormous at almost 6'8", almost 340 pounds with very long arms, almost 35 inches. He can knock you off the line of scrimmage. He's a violent helper. I thought the feet were a little inconsistent. I don't think he's a great space player, but he is big and he is physical.
Damn, Commanders picking already too. They pick a wide receiver.
Before Iowa State.
Just jumping in real quick. The Rams traded up with the Colts to take the 2nd Hunter of the draft. And the Colts traded down to take the 2nd Travis of the draft.
Nice.
These are just nuggets I'm throwing out.
Everything's in
With
twos.
the 128th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the Washington Commanders select Jalen Lane, wide receiver, Virginia Tech.
I like the group of wide receivers that we've seen come off the board today. You got guys that can really, really run. That's been the theme. That's who you're seeing go. He ran 4.34. He's undersized. You can use him in the slot. I think that speed shows up on the outside as well. For a speed player, I thought the instincts to settle in zones, there was a little bit of a feel there. The quarterback play was not great, but CD, not only the 4.3, 4.40, he jumped 40 inches, he broad jumped 11 feet, and this is a dynamic guy.
Yeah, and you notice how they're utilizing him as well. You see these reverses coming at you. They were finding ways to manufacture him touching the football, whether it was jet sweeps, reverses, the bubble screens, anything to get the ball in his hands early and then let that speed take over.
And that's what Washington does in that
There's
offense.
quite a bit of wide receivers coming off the board.
Cliff's got a lot of tricks.
Eagles now on the clock with the 130th overall pick. The Ravens came into today with the most day 3 picks, 8 of them. We're about to hear the first of those 8 in a matter of moments to get us to the 130th overall pick. Pick 129. It's the 27th pick of the 4th round, and again, we have not heard Shedeur Sanders' name yet. Once again, he is in danger of slipping into the 5th round of this draft. The 20th overall pick on Daniel Jeremiah's draft board. I am just still shaking my head over this, guys. I still don't get it in this league where we're now in the take a flyer portion of things for certain teams. Certainly if you need a backup quarterback, I quite frankly don't get it. I've never seen anything like it, and there's really not much of an explanation for it.
We were talking before and thinking of teams, and I brought up Philadelphia as a team that could make some sense. They love to collect quarterbacks. They see the value in the asset there.
Well, maybe they're 3:30 away from hearing that decision. It's time for the Draft Buzz presented by Goodyear, and that is, I mean, you can't even call it. It's the loudest buzz I've ever heard in terms of a draft. We've never talked about somebody in this with this intensity. I've never had my phone blow up from a wide variety of people who are diehard NFL fans and people who are just casual sports fans. They're even like texting me like, "What gives? Like, what's going on?"
Yeah, bro. Like, this is just absurd. Why he hasn't got picked yet?
We're asking her what's going on with Shedeur Sanders, and she identified some of these people I know follow football, others not at all. To your point,
yeah,
Rich.
man.
But I'm at the portion. To be honest with you, I'm at the portion of dad stage now, because reasons are going to come out later. But for me, very quickly as we get ready for Ian, I'm thinking hugging this young man right now. I don't care how he's holding up. This is a very, very tough time for him.
Ian?
I would echo that. First of all, you guys mentioned the various people texting. I woke up to a text from my mom wondering why Shedeur Sanders has not gone. I mean, that's kind of where it's reached right now. I mean, it's everyone who casually follows football just wondering why the biggest name in the NFL draft has not gone. You know, you guys mentioned wanting to hug him. Charles did. I've gotten a lot of those texts from different draft rooms in the NFL just being, I feel so bad for him, poor kid. But those teams are also not taking him. And, you know, you talk about why. You start to understand why if a quarterback doesn't go in the first round, well, you know, maybe he should go in the second round. It doesn't really work like that. I mean, Tyler Shuck, yes, but that is a rarity. Usually it's you take a starter in the first round, or you take a backup kind of when you can. 4th, 5th round, that's the category for Shedeur Sanders right now.
Ravens won a linebacker from California State, from Cal State. So.
I mean, he's got to be, as we wrap up the draft buzz presented by Goodyear, he's got to be the top player still available on everyone's draft board, even with teams that aren't quarterback needy. You rank players, right? I mean,
you never know how they have him ranked, but I would say the vast majority have to have him up there.
All right, latest pick from London, the Ravens pick.
This is James Ogden, member of the UK Ravens flock, coming to you live from Tower Bridge and the Raven Pub in London. With the 129th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the Baltimore Ravens select Teddy Buchanan, linebacker from Cal. Go Ravens!
A little bit of a theme here with these wide receivers and linebackers. I think, again, this is that value. This is that sweet spot round. Teddy Buchanan off the ball, also can rush the passer a little bit, had 3 sacks. The coverage to me was the only concern, a little bit of the knock there, but I thought the instincts against the run were excellent. He can really, really run. To me, it's just clean up some of the coverage stuff, CD.
Plays like his hair's on fire, too. That's what you like about him. That fits Baltimore perfectly. 1 year at Cal, previously had been at Cal Davis.
Well, the Eagles were, as you just mentioned, a possibility. Who knows? They could take Shedeur. They just traded out a pick 130. The Jets just traded in, flipping a 6 they got from the Chiefs in the Mecole Hardman trade back in the day to do it. We'll find out who the Jets just took in a sec.
This 2025 NFL schedule will be released soon.
Yeah, why the fuck did Tyler Schroe get drafted before Shedeur? He threw for 63% of his balls, 7,820 yards and 59 touchdowns. Shedeur did way better than that.
A Super Bowl rematch for the ages.
What the fuck? I'm like so confused, dog.
The 2025 NFL schedule will be released soon.
The stage electric.
Quarterbacks define this rivalry.
A Super Bowl rematch for the ages.
So what?
Welcome back.
I am somebody. I may be young. But I am. Somebody. I may be small. But I am.
Somebody.
I am somebody. I may be young. But I am. Somebody. I may be small. But I am. I must be respected.
Protected. Never rejected.
But I am.
Somebody.
It's time to get the show started, Green Bay.
If you need a hero,
I lived in Italy. That was when I started building my passion for football.
Oh yeah, I see that pic. Sorry, I'm just like looking at like stats and shit. Shedeur really should have went some like
Playing for Dad, not only is he the coach,
He's a top 3 quarterback in college, bro. Or at least somewhere in the top 5.
Legendary.
2025 NFL
The fuck is he not even drafted for?
We are ready for the new era here.
It is adrenaline, excitement, the stage electric.
One of many revenge games.
Quarterbacks, they define this rivalry.
They've only gotten better. Unbelievable. It's go time. The whole world wants
A Super Bowl rematch for the ages.
Welcome back.
The 2025 NFL schedule will be released soon.
The stage electric.
Quarterbacks define this rivalry.
A Super Bowl rematch for the ages.
the whole world wants
Welcome back.
On smartphones everywhere at doihaveprediabetes.org.
So the latest pick is in from New Orleans. And then the Bears are on the clock right now. So we're almost caught up. So the Jets traded with the Eagles. And I guess, did they tell Howie Roseman we're moving up to take an Alabama defensive player? And Howie's like, if I'm going to trade you the pick, it's got to at least be on brand for me. Is that part of the trade?
They got it backwards. They flipped the script a little bit on this.
So they're saying, hey, listen, Howie, let us trade. It would have been the guy you chose anyway, right?
It had to be Alabama or Georgia. Malachi Moore, you talk to the folks at Alabama, they use the word trust. They trusted him. As soon as he got on campus, they could get him right on the field.
So he's the latest Jet.
Saints choose a cornerback.
Now the Saints' latest selection. They're sixth of this draft.
I would like to thank the NFL and the Saints for being here today. With the 131st pick in the 2025 NFL Draft,
Hey, dog, I can't understand her.
Quincy Riley, defensive back, Louisville. Let's go Saints! Who dat?
Louisville.
I love that. I love this player. Quincy Riley's is
Oh,
talented.
just about to say that, bro.
Ultra competitive.
It's got to
Had
be a hidden gem in
phenomenal
that in this fucking
senior
round.
The practices there, you saw that competitiveness on display. Here he is in
How about
coverage.
who
He's
not?
got a little twitch to him. He ended up running in the high 4.4s.
Who not?
Some teams you talk to worried about his long speed.
Who that?
I
Who
didn't
not?
really have
Who
those
not?
concerns,
Y'all
and
ain't
I
the
thought
Saints.
short area quickness was excellent. You see the toughness here as well, CD. He's not afraid to tackle. I love corners that are physical and love to get involved in the run game. He'll do that, and also had a little bit of production on the pass as well. So I just thought a kind of a twitched up, sudden player who played with a lot of urgency and intensity.
Did it remind you a little bit of Jarvis Brownlee, who came out of there?
Yeah, I think
With
stronger,
Tennessee, a little bit stronger
guy.
With that same type of feistiness, get after you type of a player.
2 Cardinals just went to the Saints, I'm mandated to say.
On the day of the Pope's funeral.
Indeed. So the Bears are now on the clock, which may have been why you were hearing some boos behind your Quincy Riley
Bears still
analysis.
suck. Green Bay sucks. When last time y'all won a fucking playoff, a Super Bowl,
Green
dog?
Bay, maybe some boos.
What, since Aaron Rodgers was there?
Des White coming out there yesterday, barking after
And
Seth
Bears
Rollins
pick is in.
promo.
Chiefs are on the clock.
He just set it up for him, didn't
Yeah.
he? Took the belt and left.
Hey, Clay Matthews set the tone. Like,
Got out of the gate fast.
Before the Titans got even put on the clock to start this thing.
Did you see the commish when he jumped it in? The commish like,
my God.
Commish is like, we didn't even put him on the clock yet.
Clay Matthews set the tone. He's a tone setter when he played here in Green Bay.
Get after people.
All right, so the Chicago Bears, take a look at their draft. And it started with Colston Loveland being the first tight end off the board, and a lot have been taken since then. They went Luther
I ain't
Burden
saying nothing yet, but
from
my Niners
Missouri,
have not
and then
traded
Austin
any picks this
Trapillo
year.
out of Boston
We
College
might have a shit ton of
for their
picks next year
offensive
too.
line, which they really addressed in free agency. Shamar Turner for the defensive line.
There's still a
late
lot
last
of
night.
fucking rounds left,
Actually,
bro.
not
So we
so
can't
late
say
last
he's
night.
not
They
getting
have a
drafted
third-round
yet.
selection. This is their first pick since the 62nd pick overall. And they traded down earlier to get a 5th in their pocket when the Bills moved up to take Deion Walker, the defensive tackle out of Kentucky. So just kind of setting the stage here for your thoughts, Daniel.
You look at their early work that they did, start in the offseason, go out and get those interior offensive linemen, and then they come with weapons in the draft.
And Shador's a damn near, like, damn good quarterback. Excuse me.
Johnson next year.
Like, damn good QB. I watched a lot of his shit in college last year.
But they could be one of those teams that gets out of the gate very quickly under Ben Johnson.
With the
went ahead.
Hippolyte goes and
something's wrong, bro, because there's got to be something we don't fucking know.
Go ahead, CD.
Yeah, this is a guy that popped up late in the whole.
I thought he would
sequence.
be a 7th round pick, like a flyer.
Absolutely, but
6 picks left in the round.
He tested really, really well. One of those players that you're talking about traits. He can fly. And late in the process, I was talking with someone that I know
they
well,
booing
like, you might want to make
fuck?
sure he's on your board.
I do like when they boo the commissioner,
really well,
bro. That shit's funny. Fuck the commissioner, bro.
4-4-2.
But guess what? He was
making the
one
whole
of those
fucking NFL
5-star
soft.
recruits that Maryland gathered, and maybe he didn't play totally to that during his career. But if you like traits, if you think you can do things with him, put him on the field and
Where's
go,
y'all first
that's
pick
how you
around
end up going
5?
here at this
Let's see.
stage. They've got a plan for him in Chicago about what they're going to do.
I almost think today that the draft.
Y'all have the 3rd pick in round 5.
Sheet, and they're just sorting by
And we have the
speed,
9th
and
pick
then
in round
just picking
5.
all the players at the top of that.
And the 24th. I want to at least see those two right here, the 9th and 24th.
Is there anybody in this draft class who's the 4th? Because they just took Hippolyte the 2nd. They took Luther Burden the 3rd. They took Colston Loveland the 1st.
We have no picks in the 6th.
Shamar Turner the 1st. Like, is there a 4th?
You guys have 2 picks in the 6th round.
Please let there be.
That could be their draft.
Let that happen.
That could be their draft strategy.
By the way, I did mention it was a D+. It is Quattro, correct?
Please tell
Yeah,
me
you guys have top 4, but the problem is like after that, you guys have no
Mr.
picks till like the
knows what
next
you're
each
doing these
round.
days, please.
I did not see that one coming. To be very honest.
We have 2 picks in the 7th.
Chiefs, along with Brett Beach. They've got 90 ticks left on. Oh, they just chose somebody. So.
With all these trades, it is apropos that they're playing jump around, by the way.
Did you learn Quattro when you ran it back the 2nd time?
I tell you what, though. I got the grade up because you had to learn Feliz Navidad, and I nailed that sucker.
You and
Picks
Jose
in for the
Feliciano,
Chiefs,
did you
Broncos
do
on the
it?
clock. Then after the Broncos, the Raiders,
yeah,
Ravens, Seahawks, and the
baby.
Niners.
Let's go. This feels right.
Andy Reid's former place
We're
of
into the
business
2nd half of the game at
here in
Camp
Green
Randall.
Bay. Let's not forget.
Bro, it's funny. Y'all have 0 in
High-end
the
coach
7th
here
round,
in
but we
Green
have
Bay
2 in
back
the 7th
day
round.
For Mike Holmgren. Gruden was on that staff. Our guy Mooch was on that staff.
You know the jump around was a fluke, right? They just popped it in, like,
And then it
you know,
started- and then people started jumping around.
Well, the response from the student section,
Yeah.
that's what, and there was a whoa, we're onto something here. And now the build up to it, it used to be just pop it in. Now, I mean, they milk it. Everybody, the anticipation, and then bam, and then they play this at graduation as well. So when you graduate University of Wisconsin, you go out to the jump around.
So Jack Andrade has unearthed that Ulysses Bentley the 4th.
Oh, come on down.
The Ole Miss running back who was at the combine.
Yep.
Possible.
Number 24.
He's got Bears written all over him.
Now they almost have.
And he'd have to wear jersey 4, wouldn't he? You'd have to put him in 4. Or would you put him in IV?
Oh, my God. All right, so the Kansas City Chiefs started with Josh Simmons at the very end of night 1. They've wrapped up Friday night. Omar Norman Lott to the defensive tackle position from Tennessee. And then that was at the end of round 2. And then they essentially kicked off round 3 with Ashton Gelati, the edge out of Louisville. And then Noel Williams, the corner out of Cal, was at the end of round 3, or towards the end of it. Now here's their 4th round selection. They've got a 5th and 3 7ths. So this is the first of 5 remaining picks for the Chiefs in this draft.
I just remember when you get towards this portion of the draft when we were doing it in Radio City and there was just a few hundred people out there and you could throw them cookies, and now we've got minions and nuns milling around. This is unbelievable.
We call that evolution.
Is this minion out there asking for money for a picture with him?
I'll find out in a second.
Was geht, Green Bay? Chiefs Kingdom is here, and the German Arrowheads are ready for the next. With the 133rd pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the Kansas City Chiefs select Jalen Royds, wide receiver, Utah State.
Oh, it's a Kansas City
It's
Royals.
time to run it back.
From Utah State. All right, perfect to play in Arrowhead, right next to where the Royals play.
I was just wondering if they were going to announce it from England. It would have worked there as well. But Royals, there's some people that thought he'd go off the board in the second round. He's compact build. You think about guys who've played at that size and then that speed. It reminds me a little bit of a guy who used to play here in Randall Cobb, who's got
I had
that
a stroke on what
build,
that
but can
fucking
really,
guy
really
was
get
trying
out
to
and
say,
go. A
bro.
young Randall
Like, the
Cobb,
fuck?
that was someone he reminded me of. Big time one-handed catch, by the way, in the Utah game.
Don't you think you could run some Debo plays with him too?
Strong.
All right, we're having a lot of fun here on a Saturday, which means stump the truck later on, reveal the run, Rich, run later on, and part of our tradition. Okay, there they are.
Oh, we got puppies.
Puppies are in the house. Which one's gonna pee on DJ?
Oh, man.
Yeah, baby.
The fuck?
Nice.
Turn the off-season on again with the NFL app. Your home for all things NFL. Get the news, the highlights, and more access with a subscription to NFL Plus for the picks, the moves, the plays. All in one place. All year long. Welcome home.
I got it done. I got it done. Girls flag football varsity sport magic happening everywhere. Because of who? Me. Oh, that's a good pull. That's a good pull. We need more like that. Oh.
Imagine the greatest team of all time. One that comes together to understand each other more deeply. Doesn't let a person's past prevent them from having a better future. Protects everyone's right to chase a dream. And opens doors to second chances. Who wouldn't want to be part of a team like that?
Turn the off-season on again with the NFL app. Your home for all things NFL. And subscribe to NFL Plus for more access for the picks, the plays, all in one place, all year long.
The 2025 NFL schedule will be released soon. We are ready for the new era here.
It is adrenaline.
We got all the foreign people.
The stage electric.
One of many revenge games.
Quarterbacks, they define this rivalry.
They've only gotten better. Unbelievable.
Showtime. The whole world wants
A Super Bowl rematch for the ages.
Welcome back.
I am somebody. I may be young. But I am. Somebody. I may be small. But I am.
Somebody.
If you need a hero.
It was a hard football journey. Being a zero-star recruit, it taught me to put my head down and just keep working. Draft night is going to mean the world to me.
It's time to get the show started, Green Bay.
If you need a hero.
I lived in Italy. That was when I started building my passion for football.
No, don't end the fourth round yet. I'm trying to see
It was a
our
hard
pick.
football journey. Being a zero-star recruit really taught me to put my head down and just keep working. Playing for Dad, not only is he the coach, we represent him on the field. Draft night will be legendary.
Verizon Small Business Days are here now through Sunday. And we are here on a Saturday towards the end.
Ohio
of
got
the
way more had way more players
round.
picked up,
Another
though. I've been
Alabama
realizing than
Crimson
Alabama,
Tide
though.
defender has gone off the board. And the Denver Broncos just keep adding to the defensive side of the ball.
I'm gonna go close my eyes in my bed for a bit.
Aggressive, man. That defense was really good last year.
Shit going hella slow. Starting to make me fall asleep
that
too.
Defense was really good last year, and I don't think people expected it to be as good as it was. But you got increased production from guys like Zach Allen and Nick Bonito, and things really started to take off.
All right, Q Robinson here. Looks like is the selection. He reminded me of Jalix Hunt, just a little bit lighter version. We saw Jalix Hunt go in about this range, a little earlier than this last year, the Philadelphia Eagles, and we saw what he developed into, especially once you got to the playoffs. Very fluid, very sudden, someone who's played a lot of special teams. He had to wait his turn to get on the field behind all those guys at Alabama. But you watch the Georgia game and you see him bull that guard. You'll see him pull and snatch guys on the edge. I think he's got some twitch. I thought he'd be a fun one to develop.
He really hung in there, too, as you mentioned, had to wait all that time to play, then got hurt late in the season, and the team awarded him one of the highest honors about being the best teammate, which tells you what he was like during his time there, while he waited to get on the field full time.
All right, the latest pick from folks in Vegas. Fourth to last pick of this fourth round.
G'day, Green Bay. How are ya?
I don't know if he's
I
from
want to say hi to my kids back in Australia. Ilya, Aria, Roman, I love you. I want to give a huge shout out to my football teams back in Australia, the ACT Women's Monarchs flag football team and the Canberra Centurions. With the 135th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the Las Vegas Raiders select Tonka Hemingway, defensive tackle, South Carolina. Just win, baby!
It's 3:47 in the morning in Australia, so this might be the most jet-lagged pick in the history of the NFL Draft. Tonka Hemingway, is he built like a truck?
He's a versatile. So if a Hemingway, if you're a Tonka truck, you got to be able to do a lot of different things, I guess. If you're playing with that little toy truck, he can do that. He's someone that moves all over the line of scrimmage. He's excellent on games when they'll be able to loop him and stunt him. He does that thing where he'll go to his knee and still be able to balance at the point of attack. We saw that with Murphy last year.
Byron Murphy
from Texas.
That was almost part of his repertoire.
Part of that technique that he uses. Had a nice scoop and score against Oklahoma, but they use him on offense. You'll see 2-point conversions. They'll use him on a fake field goal. So a fun toy to play with there for the Raiders. Is that where he ended? Yeah, so it'll be with Chip Kelly.
Him and J.J. Pegues also.
Yeah, they use him all over the place.
Where you see him all over the place. They'll play the Wildcat. But that one-handed catch off the fake field goal, but it actually was covered very well. It was such a big body they couldn't get through him.
Let me jump in here, guys, because the Ravens are on the clock again. They just traded out, so Tennessee just popped in. Then the Seahawks, then the Niners. So that means Shedeur Sanders looks like he's a fifth-round selection in this draft at the very least. And the Raiders had 7 chances to draft him and didn't. Does that mean he's not atop their draft board, or they just view Tonka Hemingway as more of a starter that can help them now than Shedeur, and they figure he can be on the board, and he's going to be a fifth-round pick at the very least at this point.
You mentioned theme of what Pete Carroll, John Spytek are doing. Go ahead.
Well, I just thought they wanted to go right now. They go out and get an older quarterback, go out and get an older coach, and it was right now, let's go win. But we've reached the flyer portion of the draft, right? There's not a lot of these guys are going to be starters at this point in time. You're trying to find a place for them. And I would argue that if you could hit on a quarterback here, even if he's a successul backup quarterback, it's a heck of a value.
But ask the minority owner of the Vegas Raiders about that.
I love how he's a minority.
Yeah, Tom
owner.
Brady.
I get the kick. I get the biggest kick every time he's a minority owner when he's making all the decisions. I mean, come on.
So
allegedly,
sixth and essentially a swap of a similar range of draft choice. It's just 5 spots that the Ravens drop, but it is into the fifth round. I'm sorry, I didn't mean.
No, not at all. But Rich, you asked that question, and Daniel yesterday talked about the theme of what he was seeing the Raiders doing. It's John Spytek, new GM. Pete Carroll, head coach.
Physicality.
Bigger, stronger, more physical players. Tonka Hemingway fits into that. Even if he's not going to be a starter right away, that's what they're adding to their ball club right now for their new culture, their new identity.
First pick of the draft was the Titans, and now here's the latest.
The Baltimore Ravens have traded the 136th pick to the Tennessee Titans. With the 136th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the Tennessee Titans select Alec Iamaner, wide receiver, Stanford.
Oh, this is a fun one here because you see that nugget at the very top, 294 yards against Colorado in 2023. A lot of that damage was done against the guy he's going to see inside his own division twice a year in Travis Hunter. Really, the only bad tape that Travis Hunter's had in those years at Colorado. But he's tall, he's long, he can go get it, a vertical wide receiver. I don't think you want him stopping and starting quite as much, CD, but get him on the move and give Cam Ward some shots down the field.
Well, they're making sure they're taking care of the young quarterback, aren't they, DJ? When you look at what Tennessee's accumulated, and here's the game that you're referencing. Io Manor had a big ball game. Won these one-on-one balls against Travis Hunter. And this was a game that Stanford was down huge and came all the way back and beat Colorado in that game in no small part because of what Io Manor did. Look, these Canadian receivers, they're doing a nice job. Josh Palmer's Canadian receiver came out of there.
I mean,
all right?
It's a great
It's good players.
of you pointing this out. Was that, do you think, part of the reason why the Titans just drafted him? They know that Travis Hunter's in the division now, and they could draft a kid that's already proven it against somebody like. Is that even factor in a smidgen into what the Titans?
It doesn't hurt.
It's a nice little cherry on top. If you've got a tie and they say tie goes to the runner,
right.
If you're in the draft room and you've got those guys neck and neck, maybe that's that little tiny little nudge you could get to push him over the top.
One quick note, Rich, because you remember our man Tom Pelissero having to arm wrestle Tyson Bagent's dad down at the Senior Bowl. Alec Io Manor's mom was formerly an arm wrestler. So can we get a matchup with Tom?
Tom doesn't want any part of that, I can tell you that.
Tom is, we got to send Tom to Nashville now on the spot.
He'll take that trip.
Okay. So the Patriots just they just popped in, and it looks like they moved up from the top of the 5th round, 144 overall, to move in to take this pick here. Only cost them their last pick in the draft that they have, which is a 7th rounder, 238. So their draft will end now with pick 220 unless something changes. And they just moved up 7 spots from the 5th round to the end of the 4th round for this selection. So that's what's up.
All right. Didn't Mike Vrabel say something about we won free agency, but we got to continue to win? Guess what? They're continuing to win. And I'm just going to tell you right now, we're a long way from training camp and getting ready for the season, but the feel that Gerard Mayo had going in last year as a first-time head coach, 0 expectations for that team going into the season. 0. They upset Cincinnati in the opener. People went, oh, wow. And then it went right back to being what everyone expected. The expectation is going to be a lot different. I'm not saying they're going to put them in the Super Bowl, but people are going to feel differently about this New England team going into the season than they did last year. So mission accomplished by Mike Vrabel, Elliott Wolf, and crew. Free agency into this draft. It's going to be an entirely different looking New England team to start 2025.
And one of the things, you look at the coaching staff they have, that's a good teaching coaching staff. So a lot of these good young players, talented young players, I think you're going to see them get them up to speed and get them going early.
Mike got the band back together, the guys he really liked working with. So they're going to hit the ground running. He doesn't have to do much coaching of his coaches. They know what to do for him.
All right, so the pick is in. It's coming from Brazil. Is that what I'm being told? It's coming internationally. The pick is in. The 49ers are halfway through their allotted time for the final pick in the 4th round of this 2025 NFL draft that has been all about why Shedeur Sanders is still on the draft board. And man, would I love to have that storyline end for everybody who's maybe sick and tired of hearing it. And that obviously is led by Shedeur and the Sanders family themselves. So, and you can see there's still a lot of other top 100 players still sitting out there on the draft boards, from Daniel Jeremiah's best available. It's the penultimate pick of round 4, and it belongs to the Patriots.
Hello, everyone. I'm Léo Ortiz, defender for Flamengo and the Brazil national soccer team, proudly representing Pets Nation from the beautiful city of Rio de Janeiro in Brazil. And with the 137th pick, the New England Patriots select Joshua Farmer, defensive tackle, Florida State. Go Pats!
Did they fly Pat the Patriot down there, or just the
I was just
costume?
wondering how they clear
Is that a
customs.
local in there?
How do you clear customs with that head?
Just wondering. All right, Joshua Farmer, let's get to him.
Costume double. He was my 77th overall player, and they just scooped him up with, what are we at, 137? So this was about some injury concerns and some durability and longevity, I should say. But this is a player who deserved to go much earlier than this, who has got some pop in his hands. He's got a quick first step. He can win early. I think there's what we saw at the Senior Bowl. I think there's more pass rush upside with him, CD. So to me, that everything's like, oh, how long is someone going to play? Look, this guy, give me him for the next 5 years. If that was all I were to get, that's a heck of a pick at this point in time.
Absolutely. And again, he fits the mold of what they're trying to do and trying to upgrade their team. They've gotten better skill positions on offense, but again, not sacrificing the physicality and how they want to play, because they're going to play in the image of their head coach. All right, Mike Vrabel is not going to tolerate anything less than that. Farmer fits that mold.
I have some teams talk to me about players, and not just him, but other players that get labeled, okay, he might be a one-contract player because they have some concerns. And I say, you know what second contract I'm interested in? My own.
Yep.
If he helps me win for the next 3 or 4 years, that gets all of us another extension.
So
I like that. I like that. You've been hanging out with me a little bit, haven't you?
We're about to
I like
hit the 5th round, and obviously we're talking a lot about Shador. Quinn Ewers is out there as well. I
don't think we've mentioned his name one time.
That's the other thing,
I mean,
right?
And
Will Howard, we haven't mentioned. Kyle
he's a
McCord,
national
we're
champion.
not mentioning.
You know what I mean? He's a national champion, Will Howard. And Kyle McCord threw for the most yards in college football last year and beat Cam Ward on the final regular season game of the year for Syracuse. And then there's the question of Quinn Ewers, formerly of the Ohio State, going to Texas, leading Texas to the college football playoffs and back-to-back years. I mean, this is there are some other quarterbacks waiting to hear their name being called, that are going to be going into the 5th round unless San Francisco chooses one of them with the final pick of the 4th round, pick 138 here in Green Bay.
Hello, Green Bay. What an amazing place. I just want to say hi to my son Flynn back in Australia. And what an amazing place to be here in Green Bay, where the 49ers and the Packers have had some amazing battles in the past. And with the 138th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the San Francisco 49ers select Jordan Watkins, wide receiver, Mississippi. Go Niners! Yeah.
So I think this is about, the 4th or 5th wideout we've had that's a 4-3 wideout that's gone just in this 4th round. I mean, it's incredible. He ran 4.37. I was a little bit surprised he ran that fast. I thought he'd be more in the high 4.4s. But this guy can play inside, outside. You watch the goal line fade work. To me, that's what I got excited about, because he can adjust and go get the ball down there in the red zone. Another one, to me, CD, I think he's best on the move. You look at his teammate, Trey Harris, I thought was a little more fluid and smooth coming back down the stem. He was a little bit better getting him on the move.
I like what you talk about there. Go ahead and explain that just a little bit more when you're about on the move versus him running those type of routes where you're going to cut inside and present yourself to the quarterback.
Yeah, when you got to settle, drop your weight, get in and out of the break. I didn't know that was his strength, but to me, goes, crossers, posts, that's where he's at his best.
When he catches it on the move, he's moving past people.
And we are moving to commercial break. And when we come back, the 5th round will be underway. The Vikings are making that first selection of round 5. 3 more rounds to go here on the final day in Green Bay.
Turn the offseason on again with the NFL app, your home for all things NFL. And subscribe to NFL Plus for more access for the picks, the plays, all in one place, all year long. Turn the offseason on again with the NFL app, your home for all things NFL. Get the news, the highlights, and more access with a subscription to NFL Plus for the picks, the moves, the plays, all in one place, all year long. Welcome home.
I got it done. I got it done. Girls flag football varsity sport magic happening everywhere. Because of who? Me. Oh, that's a good pull. That's a good pull. We need more like that. Oh.
I am somebody. I may be young. But I am. Somebody. I may be small. But I am. Somebody.
It was a hard football journey. Being a zero-star recruit, it taught me to put my head down and just keep working. Draft night is going to mean the world to me.
The 2025 NFL schedule will be released soon.
The stage electric.
Quarterbacks define this rivalry. A Super Bowl rematch for the ages.
So what?
Welcome back.
I am somebody. I may be young. But I am. Somebody. I may be small. But I am. I must be respected.
Protected. Never rejected.
But I am.
Somebody.
I am somebody. I may be young. But I am. Somebody. I may be small. But I am.
Somebody.
I got it done. I got it done. Girls flag football varsity sport magic happening everywhere. Because of who? Me. Oh, that's a good pull. That's a good pull. We need more like that. Oh.
Turn the off-season on again with the NFL app, your home for all things NFL. And subscribe to NFL Plus for more access for the picks, the plays, all in one place, all year long.
Back here in Green Bay, as round 5 begins, you'll notice some folks wearing coral-colored shirts in draft rooms across the NFL. Those were in honor of Colts Director of College Scouting, Matt Turpening's wife, Coral Cressman-Turpening, who passed away unexpectedly on April 12th at the age of 45. And Coral was a lifelong sports fan who loved cheering for the Colts, in addition to being a devoted wife and mom. Matt Turpening and the couple's daughters, Stella and Gwyneth, are in the Colts draft room together today.
Yeah, I've known Terp for over 20 years, and the scouting community is very tight, and you can see them all coming together. It's our way of giving Terp a hug as you look at the Pete Carroll and the Raiders draft room, all just trying to, Terp, let you and let Stella and Gwyneth know how much this scouting community, this NFL community is hurting for you. We love you. Terp, every time I saw Terp, I just saw him at the Big 12 Pro Day, and we sat there and we talked about the girls and how volleyball was going. Terp is a family man, and this was shocking, absolutely shocking to everyone. And I know that you guys are hurting, but I want to let you know that all of us here around the entire league, we're here to love on you. We're here to support you, Terp. We love you, buddy. And this is we're a phone call away. Anything you need, anytime, you call any of us. We all love you. We're praying for you guys. Stella, Gwyneth, we love you too. We're praying for you as well.
Well said, DJ. We send our condolences, all of us here at NFL Network, to the Turpening family. May Coral rest in peace. And you could see the support around these draft rooms. So when we show some draft rooms and you see the shirts, you'll know what it's about. Meanwhile, we're off and running on the 5th round. Minnesota is already on the clock for a second time. And you could see your best available, top 200. Yes, if you're just tuning in now, a few minutes after 1 o'clock local time here in Green Bay, 2 Eastern. That Shedeur Sanders is still unpicked. He's gone through the first 4 rounds of this draft. And Minnesota is, again, on the clock for a second time here. This is their last pick in the draft. Once they're done here, unless they use some draft capital next year to trade back in, the Vikings will be done. They came in with the fewest picks in this draft with 4. And this will wrap it up once they are done with this selection.
They're getting good weather in Minneapolis. They got to get out into it.
So these were the picks that went down while we were away in commercial break. The Tyrion Ingram Dawkins got selected. He is the first pick of the 5th round.
Georgia defensive player, you know, there's a bunch of them, and it's been like that for a long time. Inside, outside. Look, last year he could have gone in the portal and got a ton of money, and he decided to stay at Georgia, wanted to stay with his guys, and ended up, you know, he also could have come out into the draft as well, CD. So he stayed there and showed that versatility as we look at big Cam Jackson, a monster defensive tackle from Florida. Big DTs in the SEC, Charles. I mean, that was a theme when you're watching all these DTs this year. They all came from the SEC, it seems like.
And had Cam Jackson and Deion Walker at the Senior Bowl. And when those guys came out for warm-ups and started running around the field, everything shook. You had to make sure you check your balance because those are big, big people that clog things up inside.
He went to the Panthers, the Titans selection. Well, I guess I need to be a little careful here because there's been so many trades all over the map. I believe this is the Ravens' next selection. Let's get that from the stage.
Woo! How we going, Green Bay? We having fun? Woo! Behalf of the Baltimore Ravens, the 2000 and 2012 world champions, the back-to-back AFC North champions, would like to announce the 141st pick in the 2025 NFL Draft. The Baltimore Ravens will select Carson Wilson, tackle, Alabama A&M. Let's go Flock! Woo!
That's a big man.
Let's check on Carson Vincent here. There's just been a trade that of note once you're done with this Alabama A&M tapes here.
Sure, yeah, he's massive. Baltimore loves to collect these big offensive tackles, and he's raw. CD, we saw that at the Senior Bowl. There's still development that needs to take place there. Didn't have the best Senior Bowl game, but they believe in their program there. They can develop these guys. But I mentioned size. When I started there was Jonathan Ogden and Orlando Brown. I mean, this has gone on for a long time. They've collected big tackles.
They haven't gotten smaller.
So the Seattle Seahawks just traded into this final pick for the Vikings in the draft. So the Vikings moved down to 172. And the Seattle Seahawks move up to 142, and the price of that trade was Sam Howell. Now, you know, when they drafted Jalen Milroe last night in Seattle, that gave them Drew Lock, gave them Sam Darnold, that gave them Drew Lock and Sam Darnold, and they got rid of one Sam. And so Sam Howell goes to where Sam Darnold came from. So Seattle can then move up. And that now checks a box for the Vikings to get a more veteran presence in-house for them to throw into the quarterback room with J.J. McCarthy. And there was tons of talk about could potentially Kirk Cousins wind up back there again if something happens with Cousins in Atlanta. Would the Vikings even be interested? What will they do? Because they've given J.J. McCarthy all the opportunity to take this job. So Sam Howell now goes from Seattle, where Jalen Milroe was added to Drew Lock and Sam Darnold. Too many quarterbacks, and the Vikings get theirs. Ian?
Yeah, and this is a trade that has been discussed between the two parties for a couple weeks now, and you're right. Once the Seahawks landed another quarterback, once they got Jalen Milroe, it was all about finding a landing spot for Sam Howell, certainly someone the Vikings have been interested in. As far as you mentioned the Kirk Cousins part of it, I would be very surprised right now if there was a return to Minnesota, especially because they have now secured a veteran backup for J.J. McCarthy with some support for him as well.
All right, so these are all parts of the intrigue in draft rooms in this draft hall, and then obviously with a quarterback carousel spinning. So who did Seattle move all the way up to go get? We're about to get that mystery revealed.
Hello, everyone from Germany. I'm Omari Williams, defensive back for Ryan Fire.
And I'm Chad Jeffries, the quarterback for the Rhine Fire. And we're coming to you live from Dusseldorf, Germany. As proud partners of the Seattle Seahawks, we are here to announce the Seahawks' next pick for the 12s everywhere.
And with the 142nd pick in the 2025 draft, the Seattle Seahawks select Riley Mills, defensive end from Notre Dame.
I love Riley Mills' tape. You see the production there.
Unfortunately had that injury where he hurt his knee late in the season. And to tell you just a little bit about the character of this guy, he wanted to be with his team in Atlanta for that playoff game, but he couldn't fly because he just had the surgery. So he gets in the, I believe it was a Winnebago, and drives there so he could be with his guys. So someone that's beloved at Notre Dame and someone who has the tape to back up being selected higher than he was right here. He can win on the backside with quickness. You'll see him run down wide receiver screens. I just wrote down this guy's a winner.
Yes.
This is just a winning player.
This when he got hurt in the college football playoff, chasing Nathan Rourke.
This leg just got
quarterback.
Right
it just got caught underneath, unfortunately. Not only that, he was at the combine for the medical and everything else. I had a chance to meet him down on the field, watching and encouraging. He's the type of guy you can't wait to add to your locker room.
All right, the Miami Dolphins' latest selection, I imagine, or we will get the Dolphins' latest selection. That pick is in. The Browns just traded into the next pick, so they're back on the clock right now. This pick is coming from where the Dolphins are playing this fall, and we'll find out on May 14th who their opponent is for the Madrid game.
Hi, I'm Hugo, live from Madrid, where the Dolphins will play the first ever NFL game in Spain this season at Santiago Bernabeu Stadium. And with the 143 pick, the Miami Dolphins selects Jordan Phillips, defensive tackle, Maryland Dolphins.
Yeah, reminded me a little bit of Javon Hargrave, just in terms of that thick, strong lower body there at Maryland. Has that wide four-point stance, violent handle, violent club swim move, some pure bull rush. Not a lot of polish to his game, but you see a lot of power, CD.
You see the power, and you also see that quick jump around and get up into the backfield. Loves to have that type of a move to fool people. Transfer from Tennessee to Maryland, provides a load inside.
Who did the Browns trade up for? 90 seconds left for them to be on the clock for that. And the Eagles, Patriots, and Niners here in Green Bay.
I am somebody. I may be young. But I am. Somebody. I may be small. But I am.
Somebody.
I must be respected.
Protected.
Never rejected.
But I am. Somebody.
I am somebody. I may be young. But I am. Somebody. I may be small. But I am. Somebody.
The 2025 NFL schedule will be released soon. We are ready for the new era here.
It is adrenaline, excitement, the stage electric.
One of many revenge games.
Quarterbacks, they define this rivalry.
They've only gotten better. Unbelievable. It's go time. The whole world wants
A Super Bowl rematch for the ages.
Welcome back.
It was a hard football journey. Being a zero-star recruit, it taught me to put my head down and just keep working. Draft night is going to mean the world to me.
Turn the off-season on again with the NFL app. Your home for all things NFL. And subscribe to NFL Plus for more access. For the picks, the plays, all in one place, all year long.
It's time to get the show started, Green Bay.
If you need a hero.
I lived in Italy. That was when I started building my passion for football.
It was a hard football journey. Being a zero-star recruit really taught me to put my head down and just keep working. Playing for Dad, not only is he the coach, we represent him on the field. Draft night will be legendary.
I got it done. I got it done. Girls flag football varsity sport magic happening everywhere. Because of who? Me. Oh, that's a good pull. That's a good pull. We need more like that. Oh.
The
2025 NFL schedule will be released soon.
The stage electric.
Quarterbacks define this rivalry.
A Super Bowl rematch for the ages.
So what?
Welcome back.
Shedeur Sanders has been your best available for darn near 2 days, Daniel. He's sitting there 20th overall, and the 5th round has begun. Ian Rappaport, take it away.
Rich, there have been rumors all day that the Philadelphia Eagles were interested in Shedeur Sanders. Would be a perfect landing spot for him. A veteran quarterback room, a team with a really good backbone, really good culture. Well, the Cleveland Browns just traded over the Eagles. I wonder here, obviously they have Dylan Gabriel yesterday. Did the Browns do this thinking the Eagles would take Shedeur, and just maybe? We'll see.
Well, that would be something. I mean, that would be something. And that's the only way I would say it, but let's see how the next 10 minutes plays out here. The Browns, as we all know, had a shot to they were the team that had Travis Hunter right there, and they passed up that chance. And then they passed up, how many chances at Shedeur after that? Let me get this accurately. I should have the card here since they're right on the clock. They passed on Shedeur 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times, and including the selection of Dylan Gabriel last night, 94, to complete the Heisman Trophy finalist quartet from Manhattan being drafted in this draft. The other 3, including Travis Hunter, drafted in the top 5 picks of this draft.
If I told you they traded from 2 to 5 and got Shedeur Sanders, I don't think you would have thought we were saying with the 5th round pick.
All right, here's
where you got it.
Here's the Cleveland Browns pick. Is this the moment?
The Seattle Seahawks have traded the 144th pick to the Cleveland Browns. With the 144th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the Cleveland Browns select Shedeur Sanders, quarterback, Colorado.
Listen to the reaction.
The reaction in the draft hall says it all. The moment that we, and by we, I'm including every human on the screen, every single person who's been watching our draft coverage, and anyone else's, but we appreciate your viewing and viewership. Shedeur Sanders just went, but he went to the team that could have had him 6 times over, chose not to, including drafting another quarterback. Let's give Shedeur his moment. Go for it.
Yeah, let's get to the film. I feel like we've talked about everything but the tape for so long now. Let's get to what Shedeur Sanders is on the grass. He's got a point guard style of quarterback play. It is timing and rhythm and accuracy. You'll see that here on this tape. Also, the offensive line under a lot of duress over the last 2 years, a lot of collapsing pockets. He's able to hang in there, show his toughness. Watch, know you're going to get hit, sit in there, take your medicine, and deliver an accurate football that drops right out of the sky on the money. Now, this was the negative side of it. It was the drifting out of pockets. It was taking bad sacks at inopportune times. The thing to me was just playing faster. He just got to speed up his clock and play faster. But CD, when he's got everything lined up and he getting his feet in the ground, he is a very accurate thrower.
It isn't playing faster kind of the norm that we say for college quarterbacks, because things are going to go faster in the league to begin with. So things that you could get out of in college, because you always think your athleticism is going to beat most of the defenses, and it usually does. You have to change that. But Rich, you keep coming back to how many different ways, how many different times Cleveland passed on him. We might be just getting an idea of where Cleveland had him ranked, and now they got him in that spot. I understand all this, but here's the best part for him. Kenny Pickett's there, Joe Flacco's there, Dylan Gabriel's there. There's no one there that he can't compete against. This is still an opportunity for him to be a starting quarterback in the NFL. It is a big quarterback room, but it's not one that's so daunting that Shedeur Sanders, who was a borderline first-round talent, can't go in there and compete. And to me, it's the right style of offense. They got the runners for him earlier in the draft. The way Stefanski calls plays, this fits what Shedeur Sanders is going to need to go forward in the NFL. He's going to hate where he went, but it's a good spot.
Let's talk about that. because we have been saying for 2 straight days now, it's not
when you go.
It's what you do when you go. I mean, Max Crosby even tweeted that out at the top of the 4th round because he was a 4th round pick when he came in out of Eastern Michigan, and now look what he's become. So yes, there will be an opportunity, one will think, but I mean, there really is, only one football on occasion. And on top of that, how does that conversation go when you call him? Like, how, you know what I mean? Like,
I thought the exact same thing. Who picked up the phone and called?
I'll tell you exactly how it
first of all, the first thing is Shedeur had to verify whether it was real, because I saw that video, which is insane that somebody would ever do such a thing to anybody. Forget about who it is.
It was.
But outside of that, how does that conversation go? Like, we're going to give you a shot, we're going to give you this, we'll give you that. And now, however you want to say a message has been sent or received, or whether it deserved to be sent or needed to be received, however you want to put it, he is now in a position of joining a team that not only drafted a quarterback, but one ahead of him, and could have had Travis Hunter on top of it and turn that opportunity away to get a draft choice in next year's draft, presumably because there's a better quarterback draft class next year. I give you the floor on that.
This is how this phone call goes. First of all, congratulations, you just got drafted in the National Football League. That's a special moment, so enjoy that. I know you're frustrated that you fell this far. The next thing I would say is, I know you're a competitor. You know you're a competitor. Well, this is the biggest competition of your life, because when you were in high school, you were the quarterback. When you were in college, at both stops, you were the quarterback. There was no competition. You listed off all these names. You have to fight, first of all, compete to win a job on this team. You've got to get a spot. Then after you do that, now you've got to compete to try and move your way up that depth chart. For some of the criticism of Shedeur, and some of it is, well, everything's been handed to him and it's been kind of controlled and the path has been laid out by Deion. He's coming into one of the most crowded quarterback rooms in the NFL as a 5th round pick. He is going to have to earn everything. So that competitive nature, your dad's one of the most competitive people that's ever walked this earth. We're getting ready to find out how competitive Shedeur Sanders is. He's going to have to earn everything.
He's going to need the Baker Mayfield chip, their former quarterback, carry that with him. I co-sign on everything that you're saying, Daniel, and I think of it this way. I bet it's happened to you. I bet it's happened to you. There have been times where you have not gotten what you thought you had earned the way it came down. You've gotten news about certain things that you thought, you got to be kidding me. Well, how come I'm getting this? How come I'm getting something else? I thought I deserved this over here. But the opportunity remains. What are you going to do now that that's in front of you? Are you going to continue to say, well, I wanted this over here? That's not there anymore. This is what's here. It's right now. I've experienced it. I think a lot of people at home have experienced it. What's going to be the next step for you? You can be angry, you can be upset. I get it. The next step is go out and fight. And I'll guarantee you, that's part of what they're talking about in the Sanders family right now. You get a chance to show the guy that picked ahead of you you're better than him. You get a chance to show a guy who's won a Super Bowl that you're better than he is. You get a chance to show that a guy who's a first-round pick that you're better than he is. This is your opportunity. So Shedeur Sanders, I get it. The frustrations. I've wanted to give you a hug for 2 days now. But now's the chance to get up and go. I've been there. It's not fun, but you got a choice to make. Battle or not. I think he's going to battle.
Well, in case anybody's wondering how often we see a draft where one team takes 2 quarterbacks in the same draft, it happened last year. The Patriots chose Drake May 3rd overall, then later on chose the current backup quarterback in Dallas and Joe Milton. And part of the reason why New England drafted 4th overall this year is because Joe Milton won a game at the very end
a game
of the
Buffalo
season
didn't even show up for.
That turned out for being Gerard Mayo's last game as head coach. But neither here nor there. We're currently looking up. Pittsburgh did it in 2022 as well.
Look, the biggest one is RG3 and Kirk Cousins.
Well, but so
I know it's different.
I'll ask that question
because it's different. That was there
because I remember
we were there.
And I remember, I looked right at you guys. I looked right at Mayock, who was sitting in your chair at the time, DJ, and I said, what is Washington doing right now? Because the only way that Cousins plays is if for RG3 it goes so terribly bad for RG3, and then eventually it did, and Cousins then became
The guy.
One of the most generationally enriched year-to-year players this league has ever seen.
No doubt.
And now one of the most highly paid backups in the league, where a lot of folks thought he could wind up in Cleveland if things didn't go right in this draft. Now, I mean, it's standing room only in that draft room, especially since we're assuming Watson needs one of those rascals to get around right now. And so bottom line is, what happens now? Like, how do you do all that? Denzel Ward just told him it's time to be legendary. Let's do it. Now that's the leadership that you need in your locker room. That's what I was talking about last night. Everyone's like, well, it could be a circus, this, that, the other thing. You need leaders in your locker room to basically say, now it's time to be legendary. That's his word that he normally puts a hashtag in.
Thank you. And don't think for a second Denzel Ward's not being intentional by using that word.
Right.
You've used it. Here's your opportunity. Let's go ahead and be legendary.
Right, and that's a way of him saying, welcome to the team.
But
what you just said, that it's now time to compete for your spot and show that particular.
The only thing you missed was the hashtag.
Ian Rappaport wants to chime in. Ian?
I wouldn't have missed the hashtag, by the way. Let me explain what is going on in the Cleveland Browns quarterback room. You have Deshaun Watson, retore his Achilles, not expected to play this year. Everything else is now completely up for grabs. You want to take a look at this draft? Let's do it. Dylan Gabriel, a high-energy, kind of run-around future backup. That does seem to be where the Browns have him targeted. Shedeur Sanders is a lottery ticket. Some view him as a future starter. If he develops, he could be more. We will see. The Cleveland Browns also, as you guys know, acquired a first-round pick in the future. They still need a franchise quarterback, one that could help them next year get whoever that ends up being. If Shedeur turns into the franchise quarterback that he believes he can be and other teams believe he can be, then they just have a free first next year. They can do whatever they want. It is a lottery ticket for the Browns at a very low cost.
You guys want to chime in on that?
Go ahead, DJ.
There? No, I'm sitting here thinking
I think he's right.
I keep coming back to that competition, and it's going to start with Dylan Gabriel, like right there. To me, if I'm Shedeur, I'm going to say, okay, I know one thing. We show up to minicamp, I'm going to learn this stuff as fast as I possibly can.
Get down cold.
I mean, I think if you want a culture of competition, which every coach preaches, man, they drafted two big-time backs in this draft. Now they've got two quarterbacks.
Hey, try and get back to
this is the purest form of sport is competition. And before you can play the other team, you got to compete with your own guys. Now, it's going to be healthy, and they're not going to be hating on each other and not fighting each other, but it's going to be a healthy competition, and it's going to be fun. Practices a rookie minicamp, man. We've got a quarterback competition at a rookie minicamp. How great is that?
I would run to Cleveland for the playbook and the opportunity right now. Because exactly what you're saying, Dylan Gabriel, that's who he is. That's what he's about. He's done it at 3 different places. UCF, Oklahoma, Oregon, and did it at really high level. Adapted, changed, learned teammates, learned schools, all these things. I would run there if I'm Shedeur Sanders. I'd have my dukes up, and we're going to fight. I've said this multiple times in different ways already today. We've all had these dings along the way, and there's been days when I've gone and been in the fetal position and turned down the shades, and I got to find a way to come back. Either you find a way back or it consumes you. And that's where he is right now. I think he's going to find his way back and go out there and fight. I don't doubt that at all. That's why I pounded the table for him in my article. But that's where the moment of truth is. But I'm a firm believer. What Ian said is right. It's a lottery ticket for Cleveland, but it's an opportunity because I think Cleveland wants to play the best guy. They've gone through more quarterbacks again in the last few years. They're ready to play, and getting the backs, what they're doing with the line, they're signaling Kevin Stefanski football is back in play. And to me, that's perfect for a Shedeur Sanders, and I firmly believe he's got a better chance to start than Dylan Gabriel. Dylan Gabriel, I think, is going to be seen as pure backup. We'll see how it works.
I know Dylan Gabriel is not going to look at it that way.
I know he's not going to look at it that way. I'm telling you, if I'm drafting, I'm thinking Shedeur Sanders might be my starter. I know what I'm getting with Dylan Gabriel. I hope I get more. It's going to be a very interesting fight on his hands.
And then just lastly, how does a quarterback competition work with 4 guys? Like, and 2 rookies.
He's going to have to narrow it.
I mean, we're talking about the exact opposite of a rookie is somebody who won Comeback Player of the Year pushing 40.
I don't know that you have all 4 there.
Or closer to 40, I should say.
Do you really think they're going to have all 4 there?
Once we get to, let's see when we get to training camp. The other thing is,
Joe Flacco, I can imagine if, hey, Joe, we're going to take some reps off you. I don't know that you're going to get a big argument there from Joe, as much football as he's played and at his age.
He came off the couch and got comeback player of the year. He's not worried about it.
Moments ago, Shedeur Sanders, this is his reaction. Yep, it's time to take the plunge and get into the National Football League. His long week of waiting to hear his name is over. And hopefully that is some nice chilling water. Shedeur Sanders is a Cleveland Brown with the 5th round pick and the 2nd quarterback taken by the team that just drafted him. Can't make it up.
The 2025 NFL Draft is presented by Verizon. The NFL, powered by Verizon 5G.
Turn the offseason on again with the NFL app, your home for all things NFL. Get the news, the highlights, and more access with a subscription to NFL Plus for the picks, the moves, the plays. All in one place, all year long. Welcome home.
The 2025 NFL schedule will be released soon.
The stage electric.
Quarterbacks define this rivalry.
A Super Bowl rematch for the ages.
So what?
Welcome back.
I lived in Italy. An away game was traveling to Germany, France. That was when I started building my passion for football. Draft night is going to be everything.
I am somebody. I may be young. But I am. Somebody. I may be small. But I am.
Somebody.
I must be respected.
Protected. Never rejected.
But I am.
Somebody.
It's time to get the show started, Green Bay.
If you need a hero,
I lived in Italy. That was when I started building my passion for football.
It's a hard football journey. Being a zero-star recruit really taught me to put my head down and just keep working.
Playing for Dad, not only is he the coach, we represent him on the field. Draft night will be legendary.
I got it done. I got it done. Girls flag football varsity sport magic happening everywhere. Because of who? Me. Oh, that's a good pull. That's a good pull. We need more like that. Oh.
Turn the offseason on again with the NFL app, your home for all things NFL. And subscribe to NFL Plus for more access for the picks, the plays, all in one place, all year long.
Well, the fans of Green Bay just laid witness to one of the biggest storylines of the draft. Shedeur Sanders, drafted by the Cleveland Browns in the 5th round. 2nd quarterback they took after taking Dylan Gabriel at the end of the 3rd round. Let's get to our draft tracker now, presented by Lexus. Taking a look at all the names that have come off the board since Shedeur Sanders. Mac McWilliams, cornerback from UCF, went to the Philadelphia Eagles. Latest pick was the Cowboys. Just got their running back, perhaps, in Jaden Blue, right there from the state of Texas, in the Texas Longhorns. Miami Dolphins have their pick in at number 150. So do the Colts. And the Arizona Cardinals are now on the clock. As you look at the last 5 picks, Jason Marshall, Jr. from Florida, the cornerback, is the most recent selection, 150 overall, down to Miami. Hello, everybody. Welcome here inside our NFL Network studios here in Los Angeles. I'm Rhett Lewis, Brian Baldinger, Maurice Jones-Drew. Excited to be back here with you. We'll get you out to Green Bay again here shortly with Rich Eisen in the group. And guys, we talked about it for 3 days now. Shedeur Sanders, now officially a Cleveland Brown. 40 quarterbacks have started games for the Cleveland Browns since they made their return to Cleveland. If, in fact, Shedeur Sanders becomes the 41st or 42nd or even 43rd here, depending on all the names the Browns now have in their quarterback room, Let's start with what that might actually look like in the Kevin Stefanski system here, Baldy.
Well, I want to know how you're going to orchestrate this.
Yeah.
I mean, Dylan Gabriel was a third-round pick, 94th pick. Kenny Pickett is there. Joe Flacco is a guy that took him to the playoffs 2 years ago. He's 40 years old. He's back in Audubon, New Jersey right now, watching this whole thing unfold. I thought as soon as Cleveland took Dylan Gabriel with the 94th pick in the third round yesterday, that it took Cleveland off the interest of drafting a quarterback. And we kept doing this through the first round, the second round, the third round. Once a team took a quarterback, Jalen Milroe, whatever, like you eliminated Shedeur from those positions. And now he is 2 rookie quarterbacks on this team. There's only so many reps. There's only so many preseason games. I don't even know how you evaluate what you're going to do.
Yeah.
I can't wait.
I know you've got some thoughts on that, MJD. We're going to get to it here in a second, but we got to get to Berlin for a pick where the Colts are going to host the first ever NFL regular season game in Berlin, and we're going to get their pick now at 151.
Guten Tag from the Olympic Stadium here in Berlin, Germany. This season, the Indianapolis Colts would make history as the first NFL team to play a regular season game right in this beautiful stadium. We are excited to bring Colts football to fans around the world. Let me introduce you to star defensive player, team captain, Kenny Moore II.
With the 151st pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the Indianapolis Colts select DJ Giddens, running back, Kansas State. See you in Berlin. Auf Wiedersehen.
All right, I love it. Here we go, MJD.
Yeah, they must have been looking at the. Look at this. They must have been looking at the rankings.
Yeah.
Look at the suddenness. Oh, I love them. A big back that's sudden and can stop, makes people miss. Look at that. You don't get that with big guys, 6 foot plus, 200 plus pounds. You don't see a lot of that. Again, a guy that can make people miss. Look at that. Just the shiftiness, the suddenness, the ability to burst to the house. Played injured this year too. He's a little banged up, so. Yeah. That's a good pick. They must have been, checking out NFL.com.
All right, we'll have to check that out. We saw their starting running back, Jonathan Taylor, announce their second and third round picks last night. JT Tuimoloau from Ohio State, Justin Wally from Minnesota, the corner, and then, of course, they took Tyler Warren with their first round pick out of Penn State. Let's get back to Shedeur Sanders, though, MJD.
Yeah.
You know this Kevin Stefanski system. How do you see Shedeur's fit within it?
I think this is a perfect fit. This system is ran all through the league. You talk about the Atlanta Falcons run it, the Houston Texans run it, the San Francisco 49ers run it, the Green Bay Packers run it, the Los Angeles Rams run it, the Miami Dolphins run it. And the reason I say the Dolphins, think of what Tua Tagovailoa has been able. What was his strong suits coming out of Alabama? Timing and anticipation. That's what you see from Shedeur Sanders. He gets the ball out quick. You're going to have a great running game, a lot of half-field reads, play-action pass. To me, if you can just be a point guard, and we saw what DJ put on there as a point guard, just to distribute. We don't need you to win games. That's all you have to be in this system. Very similar to what Kirk Cousins was in Minnesota under Kevin Stefanski. So I love this fit. And you may talk about, hey, how do you get out there? I remember being in Jacksonville, and it was probably like 9 running backs. You know how you get out there? First, you do it in the meeting room by being smart and being on the board, answering your questions, and gaining trust. Then you get on the field and you start making plays. And then you get in the preseason and you start making some big-time throws. Dak Prescott did that with the Cowboys in Week 1 against Los Angeles Rams.
Never got back on the field.
And then all of a sudden, they got to keep playing you because you're giving yourself the best chance. Competing is all that matters at this point. I think he's in the best situation to do that there in Cleveland.
So we had 6 quarterbacks taken in the first 12 picks last year. Shedeur Sanders, the 6th quarterback off the board, and it comes in the 5th round in this 2025 NFL Draft. Okay, time now for Next Gen Stats, powered by AWS. Looking at the highest production scores from quarterbacks in this draft. And look, I mean, that is one of the crown jewels of that draft profile for Shedeur Sanders. His production was unquestioned there. Turned 2 programs around in Jackson State and then, of course, in Colorado, and is a big piece of that success the last 2 years in Colorado. All right, Browns fans, fired up. They get not 1, but 2 rookie quarterbacks to come in there and try to get this Browns franchise back to the postseason. We're back with the draft next.
I am somebody.
Somebody.
I may be young.
I may be young,
But I am.
but I am
Somebody.
somebody.
I may be small.
I may be small.
But I am.
But I am
Somebody.
somebody.
I got it done. I got it done. Girls flag football varsity sport magic happening everywhere. Because of who? Me. Oh, that's a good pull. That's a good pull. We need more like that.
None of us make it very far alone. It takes a team. A community that writes off no one and believes in the potential of everyone. Protects spaces where children don't just get by, but thrive. And chooses to not just listen to one another, but learn from one another. Having a team like that changes the game.
It's time to get the show started, Green Bay.
If you need a hero,
I lived in Italy. That was when I started building my passion for football.
It was a hard football journey. Being a zero-star recruit really taught me to put my head down and just keep working.
Playing for Dad, not only is he the coach, we represent him on the field. Draft night will be legendary.
turn the offseason on again. With the NFL app, your home for all things NFL. Get the news, the highlights, and more access with a subscription to NFL Plus for the picks, the moves, the plays. All in one place. All year long. Welcome home.
Imagine the greatest team of all time. One that protects everyone's right to chase a dream and opens doors to second chances. Who wouldn't want to be part of a team like that?
I am somebody.
Somebody.
I may be young.
I may be young,
But I am. Somebody.
somebody.
I may be small.
I may be small.
But I am.
But I am
Somebody.
somebody.
It was a hard football journey. Being a zero-star recruit, it taught me to put my head down and just keep working. Draft night is going to mean the world to me.
I am somebody.
Somebody.
I may be young.
I may be young,
But I am. Somebody.
somebody.
I may be small.
I may be small.
But I am.
But I am somebody.
I must be respected.
I must be respected.
Protected.
Protected.
Never rejected.
Never rejected. But I am somebody.
Your support is critical. We can't do it without you.
Day 3 of the 2025 NFL Draft continues, and that's a lot of cheddar right there.
Yeah.
You know,
So,
ice
can I ask you a
sculpting,
question?
we've got sandcastle building, but that is a cheese sculpture.
Yeah. If he says Green Bay style, does that mean extra cheese?
I suppose.
Okay.
Boy, it was a green and golden night in the first round there in Green Bay. Matthew Golden, third receiver off the board, 23rd overall, first taken in the first round by the Green Bay Packers since Javon Walker back in 2002. Baldy?
Yeah.
What do you love about what Matt Golden brings?
Well, I love the jacket, and I love the
That's right.
suit, and I love the reception that he got in Green Bay.
Yeah.
But this is a guy that has suddenness, and he has a burst, and he had production at Texas this year. I loved everything about Matthew Golden. He was my #1 wide receiver in this entire draft.
Wow.
MJ. So
You're not alone.
When I watch him here, like I think he's a complete player now. So here he is. You got to beat press coverage. All right. Now there's the suddenness to come back to the ball. Good skills. All right, to be able to separate right here. And like this
That's
little dig
separation.
route inside, like when he catches it, he's on the fly now. Like this catch right here, like that's a one-handed. Like put that on his resume tape, right?
Oh, yeah.
That's beautiful. But his ability just to adjust to a ball, that's a great piece of film right there.
All right,
His ability
guys,
to
I'm
adjust in
going to
traffic,
go ahead and
they all
end this
gotta be
off.
able
I
to
got
do
to
this
start
now.
getting ready for
You got to
work.
catch the ball in traffic, contested catches. He kind of showed it all. And then when he went to
I
the
will catch you
combine
guys later.
and ran a 4.29 on top of all of it, he's a complete receiver with real speed.
Yeah, to me, you saw a lot of underthrown